Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinager, Jason Minix, The Blitz. Live from Los Angeles, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
I guess it's already 4 o'clock, huh?
Wow.
Holy crap, I heard the big voice guy say it's time for the Blitz. I didn't know it was time to go.
Ooh, my goodness, Jason, what a day it's been here on Radio Row in Los Angeles, man. It has been something else, just nonstop since the moment we walked through the door.
It's exactly what it is. AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage in Los Angeles, day 3. And it's fun on this trip, having 3 guys that have never done this before, and you're trying to talk about why this is going to happen, but you also don't want to, because of COVID and some of this stuff, it's like, well, I don't want to be the guy, and Rob said the same way, of, well, this is what we used to get, and this is what it is now. And we told you it's going to get busier Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it has. I mean, today feels like Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
I'm going to tell you what, it really has been. When I say that, there's no exaggeration. It has been nonstop since we walked through the door. I know Rudy and Rob have been busy the entire day as well, and man, it has just been a lot of fun, though, with the people that have been walking around here and sitting down with us and chatting with us. And it's just been, man, so much fun. It really has.
Well, and again, Radio Row, Super Bowl talk. I mean, we've got it covered today. And, we've been busy helping the guys out this morning that, they're getting some stuff that you'll hear tomorrow morning, including the playmaker, Michael Irvin. I can tell you that is gold. And we can tell you, tomorrow morning, you can skip a cup of coffee. Just listen to the playmaker. I mean, that's going to be worth 2 cups of coffee. And if you guys could only hear the conversations that was happening when we didn't hit play and record.
Yeah.
Because that's super gold. What is that, platinum?
Michael Irvin is always gold. I've never seen the guy when he's not gold. He always has something to say. He's got an opinion. He says what's on his mind, and he backs it up. And it is just fantastic. And I love it was great listening to him today.
All right, coming up here today on The Blitz, we've got Ryan Leaf scheduled to join us coming up at 4:30. Super Agent Lee Steinberg will join us at 5 o'clock. The Romo with Rings, Bill Romanowski, he will join us coming up at 5:30. We've got Aaron Taylor. We've got Darren Ravel. Tyler Lockett is rolling around here.
Wow.
He's Texas guy. He keeps saying, "Now I'm coming back, man. He's gonna come on." We'll talk with Tyler Lockett as well. There's just a lot to get into today on the Blitz, along with talking about the game and everything that we're expecting to see, because now it's, the Bengals got into town yesterday, and I'm a little worried about the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe, in the sense of they all showed up wearing the same sweatsuits.
Yeah.
And it just gave me that vibe of when the Houston Texans thought they were good and they rolled into New England in a Letterman's jacket and got their ass kicked. When I saw the Bengals all getting off the plane wearing the unless the sponsor said you have to wear this. And I don't know that all the years I've been to covering Super Bowls that I've seen the team wearing the same outfit as they arrived. I don't know if that's a new thing or they decided to do it, but I just saw that on SportsCenter and went, that's J.J. Watt in those Letterman jackets. That did not work out well.
Well, we'll see what happens, but, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the San Antonio Sports Star crew out and about last night all wearing the same thing and rolling down the street. So if it's bad luck for Cincinnati, what is that for us?
Well, I mean, but we won last night. We kicked ass at dinner last night. There was no food left, no chicken left on that bone. I mean, it was just one of those dinners that we had at this spot in Redondo Beach. And it was one of those great restaurants. Now, the map says it's 10 minutes away.
No.
It takes a damn hour.
It does.
I mean, we're going to the beach, and we leave, and it's sunny, right? We see the sunset, we're still in traffic. And the GPS goes from 33 minutes to 48 minutes to an hour 10 to however long. And, you're in the car and you got to pee. And it's like, what are you going to do? I mean, Rudy has no idea how long it took to get there because he took a good nap there, as he typically does. Although he did at least this time make it to the highway before he crashed out.
Well, he serenaded all of us, too, as he was sleeping with that. I think it was playing a horn or something. I'm not sure what that was. But, the music
French horn?
Yeah. Yeah. So Rudy needed a nap on the way to the restaurant, and he was golden once he got there. So everything was good. But this place has just been incredible. And I tell you what, as exciting as it was on Monday and Tuesday, Jason, the vibe in here today is just so much greater. It is just, every table is full just about, and people walking around, celebrities walking around, athletes walking around, and it's just, it feels like the Super Bowl here today for sure.
It's sad because every table is full except for the one right behind us.
Right.
Now, if you're watching on the video yard, apparently I'm not on yet. Pledge, send that thing. But the Pittsburgh station, that guy's here early and then leaves.
Yeah.
The station behind me, or the table behind me, is empty. So we've been using that as kind of a work table and a lunch table. And, we commandeered it. And, we got the eviction notice about an hour ago. Now, so they told us, hey, man, we can't use this table anymore. All right. Well, nobody's moved in yet.
Somebody did, yeah. There's a guy there.
No, I think that's a guy that just found an open table.
Yeah, maybe so.
I really do think that's all he's dealing with there is going with this table that's available, because now it's full and everybody is looking for a place to plug in their laptop and do some work.
Well, I want to know how that eviction thing goes. I must have missed that. I was gone or something when somebody came by to evict you. I mean, were they rude? Did they bring the cops? I mean, what happened?
Honestly, I have no idea. I wasn't there when it happened. They kicked Rob out.
Oh,
and, so all of a sudden, all the stuff is gone, and Rob packed everything. So now you're trying to find things that was over there that But I noticed the box of donuts is safe.
Well, yeah. There's one donut left.
There's one donut left.
One left, and I think Kyle Turley ate all the donuts today.
Well, I mean, look. You have to understand what Kyle Turley does for a living now. And part of that is eat donuts later.
Yes.
And, and Kyle Turley's always great. And he's going to be on with Rob and Rudy tomorrow morning, but they taped it a little while ago. And he, the last several years, and you never know what you're going to get with Kyle Turley. I mean, I've seen him bring his guitar and basically do a concert. I really don't want to talk to you, but I'll sing to you guys for 15 minutes, right? But he's in the CBD business. Well, now he's getting into the legal weed business.
Nice.
So not just CBD. So, yeah, he needed a donut while they were talking.
Immediately. As soon as he sat down, he said, hey, y'all got any snacks? And I think somebody said, yeah, we have donuts. He said, that's perfect. I'll have a couple. And so, yeah, he proceeded to chow down on a couple of donuts. So he was happy.
It is amazing. We're in a state where weed is legal.
Yeah.
So everywhere we were going last night, you're like, damn. Yeah, I mean, the smell of it. Well, and then a lot of former players were involved in it. We're going to talk about blunts with LeGarrette Blunt later this week.
Exactly right.
I mean, he's in the blunt business, but he was born to it. It's part of his name.
That's his name, so it's going to be good. I can't wait to talk to him about that and maybe some other things too. But I can't stress enough for everybody that's watching and listening. And man, this place is just rocking and rolling right now, and it's really exciting, and the adrenaline's flowing, and it's fun, man.
And as we get things lined up and get ready for the rest of the day here on Radio Row, and it's going to be obviously very Super Bowl centric. There is some interesting news coming out of San Antonio involving our San Antonio Spurs and a bit of a trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of weird because, you look at it on paper and you wonder what the Spurs are doing. And there's got to be a method to their madness, I would think. Well, Juancho Hernan Gomez is no longer a San Antonio Spur. He is now a Portland Trailblazer. He was sent packing for Tomas What's it? How do you say the last name?
That's why you're doing it. Yeah. So
well, I don't have it in front of me.
Satoransky.
That's why I handed it off to you, man.
Yeah,
they
well,
got all kinds of names.
Satoransky.
Satoransky.
Yeah,
That's
that
him.
dude.
I thought that isn't that a jewelry store somewhere?
That's Mark Sadowski Jewelers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, over there off Northwest Military.
I don't know. Is he related to that guy? Anyway, that's who the Spurs have now, plus a second-round pick. And then the surprising news of that was a 3-team trade. Joe Ingles has been traded by the Utah Jazz to the Portland Trailblazers. And so it was a whole thing. And you know, poor Joe Ingles, he's out for the rest of the season. So poor guy's hurt, and then he gets traded.
And watch, he's going to fail his physical.
Yeah, probably, right?
He'll get the waiver for that. It's interesting. Now, I got to bring up, so I heard something yesterday. Haven't been able to track it down, so I'm not going to get into the details. But if there's some major shakeup involving the Spurs and the Utah Jazz, and I'm not talking about player trades in the next week or so, that's just something to keep an eye on. That is all I just looked up at the screen. Pledge, you wore a tuxedo today? Sorry, I just totally got distracted.
Yeah.
You went full penguin?
I mean, it's not a tuxedo.
Well, what it looks like a tuxedo.
It looks good. He wore that the other day.
It's just
this
a
is the second
trench
time
with a
he's
bow
worn
tie.
that.
I'm always nervous when I see a dude wearing a trench coat. I got to admit, especially the way you open that up. You opened up that trench coat like you've got some experience doing that, my friend.
Is pledge allowed around elementary schools?
Apparently not. And now that I think about how he generally comes to work, he avoids the school zones. I thought it was just so he didn't have to slow down twice.
Right.
Maybe there's something else there that we are unaware of. But yeah, some interesting things with the Spurs that we're trying to track down, because quite frankly, when you hear it and you go, all right, I got to dig into that one. And again, I don't want to. I'll put it out there a little bit, but there could be something brewing there. You know, it's good.
Other than the trade that happened today.
Other than the trade, and I'm not in the breaking news business. I don't want to be Shams or Woj and put something out. Not going to be, Schefter or something like that. It's not what I do, but I also have to verify it, and that so far, of course, it's the Spurs, has been a little difficult to do. Although a lot of times when you text somebody and then they don't respond, that tells you something.
It does.
As opposed to, where the hell did you hear that? That's crap.
Okay, now I've got the copy in front of me, and I want to just it's Tomas Satoransky from Portland, a second-round pick from the Jazz. Now San Antonio in return sending Juancho Hernan Gomez, who was acquired, remember that Bryn Forbes trade last month, to the Jazz, who also lands newly acquired Portland guard Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was acquired as part of the C.J. McCollum trade yesterday. And then the Jazz, this is what blows me away, because Joe Ingles is a player. Unless that injury is career-ending or career-threatening, they send Joe Ingles and Elijah Hughes and a second-round pick to the Trailblazers. So it baffles. There's got to be something else going on there. This is just the first part of it.
That is, and again, when you look at all the vowels that you just went through in the name, that'd take a long time for that to scroll across the bottom line, and you need kind of a grease board to write down where everybody's going. But it's not the blockbuster, but it does feel like it's an appetizer for more to come, as the trade deadline is Thursday. They're setting up some things for one of these teams to have some sort of blockbuster move, I would think, in the next day or two.
Either that, Jason, or the Spurs are just trying to get stockpile draft picks and season-ending contracts to try and do something in the offseason.
Well, I understand season-ending contracts. I don't understand the collection of second-round draft picks unless they're trying to really get the G League team pretty good.
Well, I don't know. I remember Manu Ginobili, who came in the second round. That was a pretty good deal.
That was. How many years ago was that?
Well,
I mean,
every now and then you find a diamond in the rough.
I just look at how many, and I'm guilty of it too. Well, Manu was a second-round pick. Tom Brady was pick number 199, right? we've got, I don't know how many second-round picks. So it's like every deal we get, they throw in a second-round pick.
Well, that's what I mean. So there's got to be something else working, right? Because they've got too many of those second-round picks. So something else is working there. Whether it happens tomorrow or before tomorrow's deadline, I'm not sure. But you got to figure. And the other news you're talking about could weigh into all of this very heavily. But you got to figure the Spurs are going to be players this summer. They have to be.
Well, they're going to have plenty of money. And I know the common thread is free agents don't want to come here.
That's baloney.
Free agents haven't needed to come here when you had Tim, Tony, and Manu for so long, and they didn't have the money. When now they're going to have a lot of money to spend, and guys will always say it's not about the money until it's about the money. And when you've got that kind of money, you're going to be able to attract some free agents. Now, depending on who they are and where they are in their career, if it's the veteran guy who's made a gazillion dollars that wants to go chase a ring with the Golden State or team up with LeBron or something like that, yeah, that's different. But other free agents, an opportunity and a spot and a role and a vision, the Spurs are going to have the money to be able to go do that for the first time in seemingly forever.
Well, I think that whole LeBron thing has lost its luster because the Lakers suck.
They do.
And the Milwaukee Bucks just ran them out of their own gym last night. So, yeah, that whole luster is going to, and the Lakers are desperate. That's a whole nother story. But I think you're right about the Spurs. They've got some young players to build around. But whether Spurs fans like it or not, they need some veterans in here. You cannot do all of this with just young players. All right, you've got them to grow. So another first-round pick, okay, that would be great. You still need some veterans in here and some quality players to lead this team. And it's just as simple as that, because they've got a lot of talent right now, but they're not getting it done. They can't win consistently right now. They need something to get them over that hump, and that's got to come this summer in free agency. It just has to.
It does. And, again, you look at where this team is now, the San Antonio Spurs. They kick off the rodeo road trip tonight on the road in Cleveland. And I wonder how much Pop is having to do damage control, PR control, mental control, telling guys – either, hey, yes, we are making phone calls about you, or no, you have nothing to worry about, through the years. And the one guy who's probably been the most open about it, at least on the Blitz with especially with Rob and I, was Danny Green, who would talk about how much it sucked around the trade deadline because all these guys hear the rumors. And the one thing that Danny Green told us a couple of years ago on the Blitz was Greg Popovich was great about telling guys where they stood and where they were in the process. And Pop wasn't necessarily talking to the agents and letting the agents relay it. According to Danny Green anyway, Pop would have that conversation with, yes, you're hearing rumors. Yes, we're having these calls. Do I think it's happening? Do I not? And Danny Green talked about how Pop was just so good at making sure they were aware, because then you've got the human side of it. You got a game tonight. You want the guy focused on that, not, we're on a rodeo road trip. I only packed for a week, and I might have to pick up and go live in a hotel in another city for a while, and all my stuff is back over here and all the stuff that goes along with it. I'm curious what Pop's conversations has been like with his players, because quite frankly, outside of maybe Keldon, Devin, and DeJounte, everybody else's name's been talked about.
Yeah, it has, especially Jakob Poeltl. That's been the name that's been thrown around the most. But I will never buy into the fact that guys will not come here because they don't like living in San Antonio. They'd rather go to New York or Los Angeles or Chicago or name another big city. I just don't buy that. Look, if you're making enough money, you can go wherever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can live wherever you want. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want. That makes no difference, especially now. I mean, guys in New York, you can't go out anywhere. I mean, right?
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, you can't go out anywhere. And we've seen that. I mean, if you go out somewhere here and you're not wearing a mask, the police show up. So, I mean, it's just not the same as it used to be. So you come to Texas and, those restrictions aren't as tough there. And I just have never bought into the fact that just because because it's San Antonio and nobody wants to live there. To me, that's baloney. If I'm getting a $30 million contract, guess what? I'll live in Poteet. I'll live in Timbuktu for all that. It doesn't make any difference.
Man, $30 million goes a long way in Poteet.
It really, a lot of strawberries.
You can get with that. Yeah, you want to know what's bizarre about the mask stuff in Los Angeles? And I don't know how it works, and I don't know where cities begin and end here, because but in LA, they check your ID and your Vax card at the door, and it doesn't matter who it is. You could be at a little wing stop, you could be at a convenience store, the breakfast place called Spud Nuts.
Yes.
Right? I mean, everybody checks it. This morning, we saw guys riding their bikes down the road, riding bicycles with their masks on. I thought, well, that's weird. Well, last night at Redondo Beach, they didn't give a damn.
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, we're all trying to be all good and put our mask on going in, and the lady's like, you don't have to wear that.
Yeah.
I don't understand the differences in the different cities, because I always thought Redondo Beach was L.A.
I don't get it either, Jason, but I'm not even going to try to figure it out. And apparently I read something today that come February the 15th, the mask mandates are going away even here. So that's good news, I suppose, for anybody that lives here and doesn't want to wear a mask. But having said all that, just look, San Antonio is a great place. And if you're going to get a big-time contract, max contract, I don't really think these guys give a damn where they live.
Well, I agree there. And again, I think it's more about the role on the team and how good this team could be. And that's the one thing, if you're paying attention to the Spurs this year, they ain't going anywhere. But you look at this young core. I think this young core will be able to help attract one of those big name free agents. And I'm hoping, I'm still on the John Collins trade. I want to see some activity there if that's possible still. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and for the first time in, I don't know, I just feel like the Spurs, even though it's not in their DNA, it's not their MO, could be players, big-time players at the trade deadline.
They could be, and you're right. I mean, they really could be. And I think all of what happened today with the 3-team trade is setting them up for something big. Now, whether that happens in the next couple of days or not, or whether it happens in the offseason, I don't know. But they're going to have some money, and they're going to have some draft picks to throw around to make some deals and do something. Because, look, Pop knows what he has right now is not going to get it done. These guys are going to grow. They're going to continue to get better, but you need to infuse a piece or two in there to get it over the hump.
Now, on the Facebook Live, Pledge was rolling through some comments. One asked, do we really think the Spurs are going to make a big trade before the deadline? Define big. Do I think they're going to be players either to get somebody that's going to help them in future years if they're able to do that? But I also think maybe shedding some to either create cap room or get some picks and get some capital that they'll be able to use. But I do think there's going to be some activity involving the Spurs, more so than with some guy that never actually got a jersey from San Antonio. And I'm not even going to try to say his name. Never knew him. Don't even care anymore. He's already gone. And I think there'll be players in free agents. I mean, and somebody mentioned about no state income tax. Yeah. Guys are fully aware of that. Their agents are fully aware of that.
Absolutely, they're aware of that, and it makes a difference. And we just had a comment that NBA players do care where they live. Well, okay, maybe they do.
Sure.
But just pay me, and I'll live anywhere. What difference does it really make? Honestly, it does not make any difference. Austin's right up the street. You can fly to Dallas in an hour. Houston, I mean, it makes no difference.
I do think, depending on your age, there is the lifestyle argument that can be made. And if you're comparing apples to apples, money to money, maybe a better locale. If you were choosing between, I don't know, say Miami and San Antonio, you'd probably go Miami if the money's about the same. If you're talking about San Antonio, Minnesota, unless for whatever reason you've got some fancy snow boots, you're going to pick San Antonio if the money is about the same. And all the talk that free agents don't come here, it's very rare that the Spurs have had the money to go get that big name free agent. And when we did, we got LaMarcus Aldridge, although he was a Texas guy coming home.
Well, and if that's the case, then why don't we just get rid of San Antonio? We'll get rid of Sacramento. We'll get rid of Milwaukee. I mean, seriously, if that's the case, if people really care, why have those cities around? If nobody wants to come there, let's just get rid of them. We'll just have a 5-team league of Los Angeles, New York, Chicago. That's it. That's all we need, because that's the only place anybody wants to live. It's BS. It's BS. They don't care. Pay them. They want the money.
He is Joe Reinagel on Twitter at JoeKens5. You can tweet at me at Jason Minnick. San Antonio Sports Stars AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage will continue here from Radio Row in Los Angeles. Also brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor, Nearside App, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. We've got a loaded show for you today from Los Angeles. With, as I pull up my guest list, the lengthy guest list that it is, we've got Bill Romanowski coming up at 5:30. Darren Ravel will be on at 6:30. Aaron Taylor's going to join us at 4 o'clock. He's a running back for the Bears. Lee Steinberg, Ryan Leaf. We got a loaded show today.
Loaded show today. And, Rudy knew that he was a running back for the Bears. That's his team.
That is his team.
Although I heard today he told somebody famous that he was a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Oh, dude, we got to talk about that.
I heard him say that, and I was scratching my head going, wait a minute, what happened to Rudy J? That I didn't know he was a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Are we going to sell him out?
I just did.
I mean, full sellout.
I think we should.
Are we going to do that now? No, we'll do that later.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll tease how Rudy J called a Heisman Trophy winner, Sir and Mr. Smith, and then lied to his face. And then got the stiff arm. Dude did the Heisman.
Yeah.
Woo, get away. No photos, please. We got a lot coming up from Radio Row in Los Angeles. If you've struggled with dental problems all your life, you need to know about Dr. Mark Havercorn and River City Oral Surgery. What Mark Havercorn does at River City Oral Surgery is he offers direct patient care. That means it's cash business. You don't need a referral, so you don't have to go to a dentist twice to get where ultimately you probably know what you need to go. When I say cash business, he'll take your credit card. He offers financing. You could take cash. You could write him a check. He will take it all, but he won't take your insurance. Now, if you do have dental insurance, Dr. Mark Havercorn's staff over there will help you file a claim, and possibly you get some money back that way. It's an incredible way of doing business because you also know exactly what you are going to pay before you even make your appointment, because all his prices are listed right on his website, rivercityoms.com. Need a tooth pulled, it's $325. 4 wisdom teeth out, that's $1,000. If you need dental implants, $1,300 per dental implant, and that's everything from start to finish, your exam, your x-ray, and all your post-op care. Just call and make an appointment. 210-778-0002 is the number. 778-0002 for River City Oral Surgery, online at rivercityoms.com.
Ryan Lee scheduled to join us here right on the Blitz when we come back after this Sports Center update from James Pledger.
Thanks, Joe. Y'all talked about a little bit. The San Antonio Spurs, part of a 3-team tree today that ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski says San Antonio acquired Thomas Satoransky from Portland and a second-round pick from the Utah Jazz. In exchange, they're sending out Juancho Hernan-Gomez, who was acquired in the Bryn Forbes trade last month. Spurs open their annual rodeo road trip tonight as they don't return to the AT&T Center now until March 1st, playing 8 straight on the road with the All-Star break. Also, in between all that, it all starts tonight in Cleveland against the Cavaliers with tip-off set for 6 o'clock. While tonight in college hoops, the 9th-ranked Texas Tech Red Bears will be in Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners with tip-off set for 8. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
If you're a guy over 30 and feeling frustrated about your health, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Are work and relationships getting you down? Do you feel a lack of energy and focus on the things that matter to you most? All men around age 30 have the potential for their testosterone levels to decline naturally. When that happens, life can feel out of control. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health with Synergenics Testosterone Replacement Therapy. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Was the guy driving the company van next to you too busy taking the infamous car selfie for his dating app when he wrecked into you? He's still single, but now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303 24 hours a day.
Finding the perfect romantic gift she'll love is easy at Diamonds Direct this Valentine's. With an expanded selection of designer jewelry and our best offer ever, 5 years, 0 interest financing. Your love is always our passion at Diamonds Direct, but especially on Valentine's Day. So we're holding nothing back. Pick any item, get our best value price, and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest financing. Everything's included. Diamond stud earrings, diamond eternity bands, layered necklaces, pendants, bangles, colored gemstones, and of course, the largest selection of diamonds and engagement rings in America. And this weekend, we're also showcasing all new collections from our top designers like Tacori, Viraggio, Simon G, and others. No matter what you choose for the one you love, you'll get the best price and 5 years, 0 interest financing. We're even open this Sunday with special pregame shopping hours 11 to 4. Get more details and even shop online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Unapproved credit.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Second it takes. The Blitz with Joe Reinagel and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage continues from L.A. on Radio Row. Former Cowboy quarterback Ryan Leaf joining us as Jake Plummer's walking by. Absolutely. You wouldn't recognize Jake Plummer today.
That's true. I was like,
no, I still do.
You might.
He's an Idaho guy. I'm a Montana guy, so we've known each other for a long, long time.
I imagine you have. Ryan Leaf, I mean, everybody kind of knows your story by now, and we've gotten to know each other a lot better throughout the years. Dude, you are killing it now in the broadcast world.
Well, I love working. I love doing that, and people are giving me opportunities, and I'm not going to say no. If I'm asked to do whatever I can, I'm doing it. And like I said, I'm just lucky that people are giving me an opportunity because I love sports. I've probably forgotten more football than people remember,
Yeah.
and so or know. and it helps, and it's something that gave me everything in my life, and it's cool way to give back.
Yeah, Ryan, when you look at this place here in Los Angeles, Radio Row, you're doing a lot of radio here. What's the vibe for you to be here? And I mean, do you just enjoy just talking football? Because you're doing 7 hours of radio every day.
Yeah, well, today I am. It's what it is an opportunity, and I live in Los Angeles, so that makes it pretty cool too. Because I didn't know with COVID and everything if we were going to be able to travel or anything. So having the Super Bowl in Los Angeles makes for an easy commute. I get to sleep in my own bed, get to put my kid down to bed at night, and that's fun because this week is incredibly busy. Was here at 8 in the morning. We'll probably head home around 9, 10 o'clock tonight. So it's a full day, and luckily the season will be over on Sunday, and I can maybe get back out on the golf course a little bit.
Yeah, college football analyst, NFL analyst, you do it all. And I go back to the first time we had you on the air was Super Bowl 50 in San Francisco.
Yep.
And I was working with that one at the time, and we saw you were doing a couple interviews, and but Johnny Manziel was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows your story. You've gone through some stuff, and it was it difficult then kind of talking about what you're doing now? Now you've got a podcast called The Bust Podcast. I mean, you're owning the fact that, but you've turned a negative into a positive.
Well, I'm an incredible businessman, and I knew that would market really well, and that advertisers would eat it up, and that pundits would be like, "This is awesome," and it's been that case. So at least I know what I think I know I'm doing is right. That Super Bowl in San Francisco, I went up primarily to get a health and body scan from the NFLPA. Mm-hmm. That's what I went there for. I had been in prison for the last 4 years. I wanted to make sure my body was, not going to let me down, because now that I was free, I wanted to live and have this life. And so I went up for that. And during that process, the Manziel news broke. Dan Patrick had me on his show, and I was really transparent and vulnerable and honest about it. And then it became a whirlwind. But I was still incredibly fearful of coming on to Radio Row, because I just thought I'd walk down the aisle and I would just be constantly judged, for being what they would consider a bust or just a failed human being is the way I looked at it. And I had a friend of mine, he's a comedian who comes around, and his name's Craig Gass. And he comes to Radio Row and he does imitations of people. He does Tracy Morgan and Al Pacino and Mark Wahlberg. I mean, he's an incredible comedian. And he said, "Here, let me go on these radio hits with you, and I can bring some levity to it and make people laugh." And what he did is he pretty much held my hand. That's what he did. He held my hand through that process. And that was 6 years ago. Like you said, Super Bowl 50. And then it became this thing that every Super Bowl I'd show up and kind of make it about other people, make it about helping other people. And that's what we continue to do. And that's a big reason why I recorded and put out Bust, the Ryan Leaf story, simply because I wanted it to be there for people to know that there is a solution, there is an answer. And if I can do this, like anybody can.
Yeah, Ryan, when you look at that, and you are doing a lot, I mean, your career is taking off. You're very successful there, but you are giving back a great deal. What was it that made you want to do that so much?
My roommate in prison, he I didn't change at all in prison. In fact, I got worse. I was angrier. I was more fearful and judgmental and everything like that. And he just one day, I don't know, he felt comfortable enough to confront me and said, you have value. You don't understand the value that you have, not only for the men in here, but for when you get out, because you're going to get out at some point, Ryan. So, get your head out of the sand, and you're coming with me down to the prison library, and we're going to help prisoners who don't know how to read learn how to read. And I had never been of service to anybody in my life. I used to think what I did on Saturdays and Sundays was me being of service, and that's just silly. This would be the first time in the worst possible environment where there were two grown men who had messed up, and now we're in the worst possible place they could imagine, help one another, essentially. And before I knew it, I was sleeping better. I was more personable. I was talking with my family more. And I knew that when I got out, it was going to have to be at the foundation of who I was. So everything I have now is due to the fact that I give it away. That's the best way to put it. You can't keep any of it unless you give it away. And that's what I try to do every day.
Ryan Leaf joining us here on the Blitz, live in Los Angeles on Radio Row. And you've done so much, the podcast, the Believe Network, everything that you've been doing, but analyzing football and college football. Washington State legend. Washington State's got a very interesting San Antonio connection coming up with Eric Morris, who was the head coach at UIW, taking over as OC. And the quarterback that Incarnate Word had, Cam Ward, is going to end up being the starting quarterback for the Cougars this year. I don't know if you've seen Cam on tape or any of the stuff that he has done, but when you go from, he was running triple option in high school, nobody recruited him. Eric saw him at a camp. He threw about 4 passes, and he said, don't throw anymore. I'm going to put you over here so nobody else can find you. And then he just broke every record he could at that level. But to go from a high school like that, small college, to the Pac-12, how difficult of a transition should we expect Cam Ward to have?
It'd be incredibly difficult, right? And it's something that, as an alumnus, watching everything play out over the last year as it has, and seeing the freshman of the year, the guy who led the conference in touchdown passes, and Jaden DeLora, up and leave and go to Arizona because they got rid of some of Nick Rolovich's, run and shoot philosophies. I was a little hesitant. I love what Coach Morris brings to the table, and I've loved what I've seen from Cam Ward. It's a different animal. Don't get me wrong. I'm willing to believe that the choice by Jake Dickert and Pat Chun, the offense or the athletic director, and moving back towards the personnel groupings of kind of the air raid feel. They're going to call it the Coug raid, use the tight end a little bit more. But I will say this, don't just believe that Cam Ward has the job in tow. There's some good quarterbacks there that are in that room that are going to battle him and make for a healthy competition, I think. Because if he doesn't have the goods at that level, you'll find out pretty quickly, and luckily they have a very good quarterback room. But I expect Cam Ward to be the guy.
Brian, when I look at college football overall, I'm a little concerned with the whole NIL thing. I'm just concerned that it's going to blow up and it's just going to, I don't know, ruin the game, but really take away from. What is your feeling on that?
Don't be concerned.
Okay.
No. Don't be concerned at all. The rich getting richer thought process is always going to be the case. What you should be worried about is the fact that the presidents and the committee in expanding this college football playoff have not got off the stump. They have to expand the playoff. That's what's going to ruin it, because no one's going to be interested in college football, regardless of NIL or the transfer portal or any of it, if you're limiting to 4 teams. I don't care if Georgia and Alabama play in the college football championship every single year. You need more teams involved. It ultimately may get to that place where those are the 2 best teams, but you got to have 12 or 16 teams to keep everybody involved, excited throughout the year, because once that first Tuesday comes and you see your team sitting somewhere like at 15 or 14, you're almost like, our season's over.
Yep.
We don't have a chance. And in a year where they brought 2 new teams to the table in terms of Michigan and Cincinnati, there was more excitement.
Yep.
People were more interested. And we want that and we need it. That's the one thing I think you would look at in terms of what could bring down the demise of college football. NIL, what it is what was going on in the shadows is now legal and okay. That's what that is.
Well, that's it. And also you'll have fewer players opting out of bowl games if they're big games, if they're playoff games.
Yes.
You're a quarterback. Could you imagine, all right, the year you guys won the Rose Bowl, you weren't going to opt out of that. But say you were quarterbacking Washington State in the Sun Bowl. Yeah, I don't need to go play in that one.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
The evolution of the advocacy of players and what's really important, like it wouldn't even have crossed my mind if we were playing in the Sun Bowl not to play in the Sun Bowl. Right? Yeah. I wanted to play. I just wanted to compete. I wanted to play. I wasn't thinking that I was going to get hurt, that my NFL riches weren't always going to be there for me. It just was a different time. My jersey was being sold in the bookstore. I didn't care about it. I didn't want my piece of that pie, or that my name, image, and likeness was on the college football video game, EA Sports video game. I just thought it was super cool to pull up Washington State and see number 16 running around out there, right? It's just a different time. And if I would have understood how much money was being made, I may have had a different idea of what I should have been compensated for, and the Johnny Manziel era really showcased what was available to a player, because guess what? Most guys aren't going to play in the NFL. And in Johnny's case, it was, one and done pretty much in the NFL.
Yeah.
The amount of money he could have made in college because of how good of a player he was, that could have set him up for life, right? And those opportunities need to be present for those that are going through it right now.
The bowl system, you talk about that, and I guess it is predicated on the playoffs, so you explained, but it just doesn't seem to have the same that it used to. It used to be New Year's Day. You were sitting down watching college football all day. Now it's like,
Well, I think if you go look at the ratings, that isn't the case. I mean, there's a reason why ESPN has bought up and made every possible bowl game there is and continues to fill it because, people are watching it on TV. Now, they may not be going to the games, right? There may not necessarily be destination places for this. The Rose Bowl is always going to be the case, right? It's going to be at 2:30 in the afternoon on New Year's Day, and that's just the way it's going to be. Sun going down on the San Gabriels, the echoes of Keith Jackson in your ears. That's what it's always going to be. The college football playoff now brings a different kind of situation to the table, which I think when they expand, they need to allow those quarterfinal games and even possibly semifinal games, in my opinion, to be played in the home stadium on campus. I think that would make for an unbelievable atmosphere.
I think it would. And an unbelievable atmosphere is always the Super Bowl in your backyard, obviously, this year. Who do you like on Sunday?
I haven't quite decided. I'm going to go watch the guys practice and just kind of see if Uzama's going to go for Cincinnati. I think that's a huge injury we got to keep an eye on in terms of what that tight end can do down the middle of the field. I think if you're a betting man and you like to do that type of thing, I like the Bengals plus 4.5. I just do. I think they are going to fight tooth and nail. I think this is a close football game. If it comes down to the kicking game, I think that Cincinnati has the better kicker, as he's clearly showcased this year. But I'm afraid of that porous offensive line and how they're going to hold up against Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd. That's the bigger question. Now, it hasn't mattered, right? He's been sacked 9 times in the game against the Tennessee Titans and still found a way to get it done. They have to be better in the red zone, too. They have been really bad during the playoffs. They've kicked I think the kicker's got 4 field goals in every game he's played it, right? So they've had to settle for field goals, and they need to get in the end zone if they get down there. So those are the 2 really factors I'm going to be looking at. Which defensive line can move their quarterback off their spot and make them make mistakes?
Well, the Rams don't like a big lead, Ryan, because they tend to blow that quite often.
That's what I told them after that Tampa Bay deal. I said, you need a game where you got to come from behind or you're just going back and forth. That's where Matthew Stafford's wheelhouse, it feels like. So it would not bode well, I think, for the LA Rams if they got out to a big lead, because Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, they like coming back.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. NFL and college football analyst at the Believe Podcast Network and host of the Bust Podcast. I'm glad you named it that, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Make that money.
That's what you got to do, man. You got that little boy of yours getting bigger every day.
He goes through a new pair of shoes every 2 weeks. So yeah. and his mom's like, he should be in really nice shoes. So that's been problematic.
And they're not cheap, are they?
No, they're not cheap. And they're inevitably obsolete in 2 weeks because he's growing so fast.
Well, he's going to be tall.
Yeah, he's going to be 6'9", I think.
It might be. I mean, you guys you're a tall couple. He's going to be a very tall kid.
So we were in London. I was the NFL analyst for Sky Sports for the final 6 weeks of the season. So we were in London, and I brought my family with me, and we went to Harry Potter Land. And in the store on the way out, there was a onesie of all the houses at Hogwarts. And he was all excited about, he hasn't decided which. He was waiting for the sorting hat to tell him which house he's in. So he wants all 4 of them. So we go to pick it out, and I pull it off. And ultimately, he just turned 4 years old. And what we ended up buying him was the 6 to 7 1-year-old onesie. So he's the same size I was at 5 years old that he was at 4. So that tells you a lot right there.
Good luck, man.
Yeah.
Good luck. Ryan Leaf, always great seeing you, man.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Good stuff. Ryan Leaf joining us live here on Radio Row in Los Angeles. Lee Steinberg will join us coming up at 5 o'clock in just a couple of minutes as we continue here from Radio Row in LA. It's rodeo time in San Antonio. If you're a business owner, a club leader, you need your logo on winter gear. Get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over on San Pedro. Sam has his winter line on display right now in his showroom. Jackets, coats, hoodies, half-zips, beanies, all the big-name brands like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Port Authority, to name a few. He's got plenty of inventory in stock and the largest selection of caps as well, including the popular Richardson style cap in stock. Sammy's Embroidery. It's not just embroidery. He can do silkscreen shirts as well. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. He has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410. next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or go to the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
We're following the Bengals and Rams all the way to LA. Live all week leading up to the big game. Don't miss a minute all week long. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
The Bengals and the Rams are headed to LA for the big game. We've got you covered all week long, live from Los Angeles. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Your home for sports talk is right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on our big game coverage here on Radio Row in Los Angeles, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Texas Cheer Liquor, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Nearside App. Lee Steinberg, Super Agent, coming up at 5 o'clock. So in about 10 minutes or so from right now, we've got Bill Romanowski at 5:30.
Yep.
Aaron Taylor, who won a Super Bowl with the Packers as an offensive lineman. He works for CBS now as a football, NFL and college football analyst. He's going to join us at 6. Darren Ravel, talk numbers, gambling. We all want to know where to place our bets. Although, dude, this morning on R&R in the morning, Anita Marks from the Daily Wager on ESPN was on. And I tell you what, she's all Bengals. Now, I've been saying I think the Rams win, but the Bengals cover 4.5. And Anita Marks, she said too many things that I agree with. Now I'm second guessing everything.
Dude, everybody. Ryan Leaf says Bengals
at 4.5.
Everybody I'm talking to, it seems like, likes the Bengals, and which it makes me like the Rams that much more.
Well, I mean, and you look at the, I've seen different things floating around. Like most of America is rooting for Cincinnati.
Of course.
Now, are they rooting for Cincinnati because they think Cincinnati is actually better, or because they're the great underdog story?
I think it's Joe Burrow. Everybody likes a cocky quarterback that confident that goes in. I just think he has kind of been the the poster boy for football fans this year. Somebody to get behind because, let's face it, besides Los Angeles, maybe not even Los Angeles, but Cincinnati for sure. I don't know if any Los Angeles fans are rooting for the Rams because they don't even know they're here. But everybody likes Cincinnati, right? So it's one of those teams that the entire country can get behind. Jason, we saw one flag on a car from Los Angeles. Nobody even knows here that the Rams are in the Super Bowl.
It kind of feels that way. And we were driving and we saw car flags. Remember in 99 in San Antonio, everybody had a Spurs car flag. There was a car, it had two flags, one in each back window.
Yeah.
They were brand new.
Yes.
Like the guy just bought them from the guy on the corner gas station. They were, that's really the only thing we have seen outside of where we are right now, which is all dressed up for the Super Bowl. But, where we're staying in South Central over there by USC, which we drove past today because Michael Jimenez got lost driving. It was a beautiful stadium.
Beautiful campus.
I mean, he doesn't know how we got there or but it was spectacular.
Yeah. No, it's fabulous. And USC is the team here, right? If you're not USC, the Lakers, or the Los Angeles Dodgers, nobody here cares. But you're going to see bandwagon fans come out of the woodwork here in Los Angeles for the Rams. They'll be there. All the celebrities will be there. NBC will show the celebrities, and there's Leonardo DiCaprio here, and there's this guy there, and I don't care. Show some football.
Show some football is what we need to do. Super agent Lee Steinberg will join us next here on The Blitz. Our game coverage here from L.A. is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested or a friend of yours, a family member gets arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. For stress-free bail bonds, it's AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
Have you at any point in your life ever had curlers on your head?
No, I had a fro. I've had a fro and I've had a jerry curl, but I never wore the rollers.
Oh, you had the jerry curl as well.
Of course. Absolutely.
How big was the fro?
The fro was nice.
Nice?
Fro was nice. Yeah, I hated getting that thing combed, though.
Yeah.
It was rough. I don't got that good hair.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Vain Attractions presents Winterfest 2022, featuring the world-famous Back in Black from Dallas, Texas, with special guests, Monsters of Rock tribute band featuring Jessica Hill, Sean Nations, James Rivera, and Rob Steele, plus the GS Junkies Godsmack tribute. $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door. Get your tickets at Cielo, 6322 San Pedro, or online at www.eventbrite.com. Winterfest 2022, VIP tables available. Reserve today, 210-619-3585.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
So here's the deal. If you're an entrepreneur, a contractor, gigster, self-employed, or a freelancer, that means you're in business for yourself, which means you can get a business bank account that pays you back 2.2% in 2022. It's called Nearside.com, and right now, it's free. I get it. Usually when banks say free, they drop the R and it's fee. Monthly fee, overdraft fee. With Nearside, there's no fees, not even a sign-up fee. I'm talking free, the kind that feels like sunshine and makes you do a happy dance, especially when your Nearside debit card pays you back the 2.2 in 2022. That's 2.2% of everything you buy for taking care of business. From a laptop or a paintbrush to work shoes and cheeseburgers, it's free money back into your business. No hidden fees, just really, truly free. Start your free account today at nearside.com/free. Debit card rebate restrictions apply. Visit nearside.com for details. Nearside is not a bank. Banking services are provided by Lending Club Bank N.A. member FDIC. Nearside.com/free.
Live, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix, The Blitz. Live from Los Angeles, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Well, we'll get it to stay on. It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. That is Super Agent Lee Steinberg joining us here on Radio Row Live. Got the microphone set, working. Dude, you're on top of the world, man. It's so good to see you.
It's great to see you. It wouldn't be a Super Bowl without us doing this, Jason. We've gone back years.
Going back into the 90s doing this. Although I got to say, you're on top of the world, but they're going to have to strap you down. How much weight have you lost?
Well, it's funny because everyone else quarantined, and I went outside.
Yeah.
And just walked and ran and was outside a lot during the first year and a half of the pandemic. And I didn't do anything in particular other than walk.
Other than walk. Now, you know, if people follow you on social, and you got a lot of people that do, you know, you got a great place over in Newport, yet somehow you spend a lot of time in Hawaii. I mean, you just get tired of Newport and you need new water to look at.
You know, actually, I did a new health breakthrough over there, which is called RTMS, which helps stimulate the brain and can help people who are concussed. So I've been aggregating hyperbaric oxygen, stem cells, a whole series of things that could help. We're doing a brain summit health on Saturday at the party, and it's all these new modalities that can bring athletes back quicker and can help those of us who are baby boomers.
Well, that's good. I need the help then. I need to talk to you about that. You know, Lee, I just started at the radio station, and I was going to call you to represent me, but they wouldn't let me. They said that was a deal breaker. So I'm happy to see you. Maybe we can talk after the show. Maybe we can renegotiate. I'm not sure.
Only one at Alpha can get represented by Lee Steinberg. You want to know why? I guess what? That's it. This guy right here.
That's it right there, right? No, watching you and hearing, over the years what you've done and how you've done it, it just amazes me. How difficult is it to go in and negotiate a contract? Is it tough to do?
It's less tough in many ways than it was before, because in football and basketball, they have salary caps, and it really limits the flexibility in negotiating. For veteran players, it still is a skill set, but it's the truth of the matter is the revenue sources are so high right now that this country is in the midst of a pro football craze. It's not only the most popular sport in the country by like 3-1, it's the most popular television show, so it's the most popular form of entertainment. And when you have a cornucopia of riches, then it's much easier.
Super agent Lee Steinberg with us here on the Blitz. And you talk about negotiating stuff. A couple of years ago, Patrick Mahomes, some people have heard of that guy. You were telling us, you were working on his deal. It was an interesting deal. And then a couple of weeks later, it's this 10-year, $500 million. You've negotiated a lot of big contracts. But when you get $500 million, how does Lee Steinberg celebrate that?
Well, pretty soon you'd be talking about serious money.
Yeah.
Just by being happy for the player. And in that case, that was the ability to assuage any fears about the fact that Patrick would be there. They could build the team around him. And the structure of it would give him enough room to build the team around him. And so he could go to more Super Bowls. And so you're always looking in a contract for what are the needs of the other party? How can you make it a win-win negotiation?
When you look at it, and we've all seen Jerry Maguire and the, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise going back and forth. How much of that is true? I mean, how much is the player involved in that negotiation?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask about the movie because it was based on the time that Cameron Crowe spent with me. So there's real caring that goes on. So let's take Warren Moon. We start together in 1978. He plays 23 seasons. So by the end of it, he's giving me advice.
Oh.
And so you form these deep relationships, not like another area of the law. And there's real caring. And the most important skill is listening. It's drawing out another human being so you get to their greatest anxieties and fears and their greatest hopes and dreams. And if you can put your head in someone else's head, in your heart in their heart, and see the world the way they see it, you can navigate your way through life gracefully.
When you think, Lee, and I know you don't represent some talking about other players, so I'm going to talk broad, but we're all over the Cowboys this year. Stephen has already said, Stephen Jones, that some veteran players might be cap casualties. When you look at a DeMarcus Lawrence, a Randy Gregory, they've got to make those tough decisions. As an agent, you want to protect your client's money and his contract and make sure he has a job. How much are you involved when they're making their decisions or flexibility to rework deals that we often hear about?
So, take Dallas. Every time that Jerry Jones needed cap room, we would redo Troy Aikman's contract.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's greatly in your interest to have that team win. So back in those days, I had Brent Jones and Darren Woodson and Russell Maryland and a whole series of players. So if you're Troy Aikman, it's greatly in your interest to get back to multiple Super Bowls. And so generally what happens, Jason, is that the enemy in caponomics is high salaries.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus is amortized over the length of the contract. So just to make it simple, if you had a $10 million bonus in a 4-year contract, 2.5 would count against the cap each year. But all of the salary would count against the cap. So when you get up to $25 million or something high, it's in our interest to always help the team with the cap, and especially if you've got a quarterback or a player that's going to be a key beneficiary from playing in the game. Happy to redo, and you can redo every year, once a year.
You mentioned all those players, Lee, and most of the players that you just mentioned from the Cowboys are retired. Do you keep up with those guys? Is it a ongoing friendship?
Yes. So Troy will probably be at my party on Saturday, and we text and talk back and forth. So but you do. Some of them you're closer to because they played longer, like Troy or Steve Young or Warren Moon or Bruce Smith. But it's part of the fun of it. I haven't done my job until the player's successfully transitioned into second career and is financially set and is happy and all set to have a long run.
Lee Steinberg joining us here on the Blitz. And Lee and I go back a long way. And one of the things that I've always appreciated about you, and when you were building your comeback, and you said all the players that I want to sign, I'm going to be there for them. They're going to start a foundation. They're going to help in the community, and we're going to find them commercial type businesses and that sort of thing. When I was working for the Commanders in the Alliance League, you guys had Logan Woodside, who was our quarterback in San Antonio, now with the Titans. And I would see Chris Cabot or people from at our games every time.
You even lost the name to the Redskins.
Yeah, yeah. We're not happy about that. But I would see, somebody from Steinberg Sports at an Alliance, and then all of a sudden, you guys are, with Patrick Mahomes doing something like that. How do you, one, sleep, but two, be able to be there for all of your guys?
Well, first of all, you have a number of different people in the agency, so we have agents and support staff. So you know how many clients you have. You know what it takes to give them a feeling of being nurtured and cared for. And then you staff up accordingly. And it's, and I knew I had to change my life when my son one day was with my former wife and an airplane crossed over on top of him, and he pointed up and he said, "There's Daddy." So it's a lot of travel.
A lot of travel. So was it at that point that things changed? You spend more time with him, and
yes, I realized my children would only be young once, and if I missed it, so you started planning trips that were much shorter. You started making sure. If I was in New York on Friday night, I took the latest flight and got home for Saturday morning soccer. And so I was there for the critical moments. And I knew at the end of life, what would you remember? It would be family, friendship, and what you contributed to make the world a better place.
When you think about everything, Patrick is a great example because he's in a gazillion commercials now, owns a bunch of Whataburgers in Kansas City. How involved are you on the business side of everything that he's doing?
So the player will have a financial planner who'll be a business manager who'll be directly involved in that. In terms of overall plan and concept, that's more where I come in, which is a little bit of vision. And but the point is you're trying to brand a player. You might remember Patrick was here when he was a college student coming out to go into the draft. So he got branded in a positive way. And if you like him on the field, you love him off the field because he's so grounded and such a nice, considerate person. But you try to stay involved along with the financial planner and all of that.
Well, and part of that, too, is you do all the marketing. The NIL has opened up an opportunity for you to get to college athletes sooner.
It's frightening because normally we would talk to someone in football right before their junior or senior year, or whatever year they were coming out. But now all of a sudden you got high school players that if you don't represent as their marketing NIL guy, you may never have a chance to represent them in their pro career. And that's, the concept of scouting high school quarterbacks is a real revolution.
Yeah, Lee, it's interesting that you bring that up. What do you think about the NIL and its effect on high school players and college football players?
The NCAA should have adjusted much faster, and they should have given players from financially disadvantaged backgrounds who might be sending scholarship home to their parents more of a stipend. You don't have to pay them a lot of money. You could have given them a stipend. In other words, $5,000 might make a major difference in their life, but they didn't do that, and they didn't do that. And then California came out with SB 206 about 3 years ago, and everybody in the rest of the country was afraid because the California athletes were going to be able to market themselves, and the NCAA was pushed into this. It's the biggest danger is if you would over publicize a player when their career wasn't really developed yet. You'd put too much pressure on them. We didn't have Mahomes do endorsements the first 2 years in Kansas City. So that's a problem with it, but it's been much more vast than anyone thought. For example, Phil Knight has basically given an NIL deal to the entire athletic program at Oregon.
Yeah.
Women's programs have gotten it. Women who compete in the Olympics have gotten it. Sam's Club gave 15 stipends and deals to people with the first name Sam in sports. Jack in the Box has done the same thing with people named Jack.
Well, I know Patrick Mahomes is a smart businessman because he introduced Kansas City to Whataburger.
Yes.
Best thing he's ever done, I promise you, it's going to be a huge success.
What's so funny is if you're from California, it's In-N-Out, and you're from Texas, it's Whataburger.
That's right, exactly.
We got a burger war.
Well, and we all know that Whataburger is better, although when you're getting in it, because we have In-N-Outs now in Texas, it ain't the same.
No.
It's not even close
when they
to the
cross
same.
the California border,
It loses something.
It does.
It does. Kind of circling back a little bit, Lee, on the NIL deal, the pressure that comes with it. And, you guys had a quarterback at Oklahoma, and Spencer Rattler, and he had a tough season. And it ends up transferring. How much pressure is on a quarterback from the business side that we're writing you a big check, and if you're not performing, what the negative aspect of that is?
I think it's pressure. I think that I have a little skepticism about the fact that you can do deals doesn't mean you always should do deals.
Yeah.
But Spencer was a very mature person. Those quarterbacks are getting developed younger now. They're coming along. They're getting 7-on-7 camps. They're getting personal tutors. So they tend to be much more mature. He just lost out to a young superstar who's now at SC.
Yeah, that's amazing how that works. Lee Steinberg, super agent. Always great catching up with you. We'll see you at your party on Saturday. It's always the best party. We might have to miss a flight.
Yeah,
tell
we
the
may
boss
have
later.
to for that.
Just
yeah.
don't tell the boss that we're missing a flight so we can go to Lee's party.
You're missing it to learn more about brain health.
That's exactly what we're doing there. Absolutely. Great seeing you. Lee Steinberg, a super agent here on the Blitz. Always great catching up with the legendary agent Lee Steinberg. That man can tell stories for days.
That is fascinating. I could talk to him all day.
You can.
I mean, he's fascinating. And just to learn about the inner workings of what happens behind the scenes with the negotiations just fascinates me.
One of the things, and like I said, I've known Lee a long time, and everybody knows this story. Hell, he's written books about it. I mean, drank away $100 million, broke, made $100 million, drank that away. And he's been sober now, as he likes to say, on the sunny side of the street for, several years now. And he's back on top. I mean, how many people, have made that much loss and then can go make it again?
Exactly.
It's incredible. But as he was working his way back into the league and being certified as an agent, he was a great source to call and have on because he didn't have any players that he was representing. So he would really tell you, and some of the stories with Jerry and negotiating, and, it's entertaining. Now, he's got to be a little bit protective of what all he wants to tell you, but most agents won't give you that kind of insight.
I tell you what, I thought he was very open and honest about everything that we talked to him about. And so it was just fascinating to have him on. The people that we've been able to interview and talk to here and get their backstory and learn some ins and outs about their life beyond the professional side, I just think is it just amazes me that that these folks do what they do and how they do it, and it's just been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun. We've got plenty to talk about here on our Radio Row coverage from Los Angeles. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Big Game coverage brought to you by Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Bill Romanowski is going to be on with us in a couple of minutes, so we'll talk with Bill Romanowski. There's a lot of Spurs news as well involving a trade. Pledge will get you updated on all that coming up in Sports Center. So, just because there's so many moving parts, I would like to talk some more Spurs, but quite frankly, I don't really understand what they did today.
I'm not sure what they did either, Jason, to be honest with you. It baffles me, but hopefully there's a method to all that madness.
Well, and again, Pledge will have all the details. Bill Romanowski, Pledge, is standing over there. So we're going to grab him, go to Sports Center early. Pledge, are you ready for Sports Center? You want to come in the camera so I can see that you're there and you're ready? I don't know how you got undressed during Steinberg, but the bow tie has been loosened. Last time I saw you, it was full bow tie. Now it's not. I don't know what kind of stress you're on over there, but it's one of those things. Hell, I'm off camera too. I mean, Rudy keeps kicking the table and it's moved the camera all the way over there. I'm not even on anymore. Okay, there you go. All right, so Pledge, you ready for Sports Center early?
Sure, as long as Joe at least lets me know.
We've got a Sports Center update with James Pledger.
I was going to say,
tell us about Stevens Roofing.
After I tell you about Stevens Roofing. Is that how it works?
It's a rookie move. We're setting him up. Make sure he's ready. Go, tell us about Stevens Roofing, and then then we'll get to Sports Center.
Well, that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. And then I'll toss to you. How about that, James? We'll do that. Hey, Stevens Roofing. If you need a roof, nobody wants to deal with a new roof, right? I mean, they don't. But sometimes it's necessary. So if you've got to do that, why don't you go to the best? And the best is certainly Stevens Roofing. In fact, they serve all the great people of South Texas. The best part about Stevens Roofing is they're family-owned. They're a local company. They're not a fly-by-night. In the roofing business, there's a lot of fly-by-night companies. That's not Stevens Roofing. They've been here, and they've been here a long time. In fact, they're licensed by the city of San Antonio. No matter what you need, if it's commercial, residential, metal, composition, makes no difference. They'll give you a free estimate. They even have financing available for you, and this is the best part of it all. They will work with your insurance company. Nobody wants to do that. They'll do it for you. They'll take care of everything. Guarantee their work in writing, and they will stand behind their work. They'll make sure you are happy. So here's what you do. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or you can go to stevensroofing.net. Remember, Stevens Roofing is your local roofer.
Bill Romanowski, the Romo with rings, joins us after Sports Center with James Pledger.
Well, we'll get you caught up first on all that stuff that's going on with the trades, as you were saying, as the Spurs were a part of a 3-team deal today with Utah Jazz and Portland Trailblazers. San Antonio acquired Thomas Satoransky from Portland and a second-round pick from Utah. San Antonio will be sending Juancho Hernan Gomez, who was acquired in the Bryn Forbes trade last month, to the Jazz, who also land newly acquired Portland guard Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was acquired as part of the C.J. McCollum trade yesterday. Utah will be sending forward Joe Ingles and Elijah Hughes and a second-round pick to the Portland Trailblazers. Speaking of the Spurs, they open up their 8-game rodeo road trip tonight in Cleveland against the Cavaliers with tip-off set for 6 o'clock. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 7-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
Where will you be on the biggest NFL Sunday? Well, get to Twin Peaks for the best seats made from scratch food and 29-degree cold beer. It's a football fan's paradise. No one wants to sit in the nosebleeds, especially on the biggest Sunday of the season. That's why Twin Peaks is there to give you front row viewing on all the big game with all the great TVs. Who you got, the Bengals or the Rams? Make the call and visit one of the 3 San Antonio Twin Peaks locations this Sunday for the biggest NFL Sunday of the year. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
America's Diamond offers our 5-year, 60-month financing program every day of the year. You don't have to wait for a sale to get 5-year financing with credit approval, or wait for a sale to get our guaranteed America's Diamond price, because we treat everyone fairly and with respect every day of the year. For almost 40 years, we have designed and created our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. When you buy at America's Diamond, your money stays in San Antonio. Our whole company is located here and locally owned. Our kids and grandkids go to school here. All 40 of our coworkers live and shop in San Antonio for everything. Through the years, America's Diamond has supported thousands of wonderful charity events in San Antonio. We're the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and of the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics. See our television program about diamonds and jewelry tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or see it right now at americasdiamond.com.
Predict the perfect score and win $50,000.
We want more money.
Presented by Dietz Tractor. Guess now and win at sasportstar.com.
Back here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel, our AA Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage continues here in Los Angeles with 4-time Super Bowl champion Bill Romanowski. Romo, man, I missed you last year. Good seeing you, man.
I know. It's been, well, I take that back. I was going to say it had been a long time since I missed the Super Bowl, but I missed Minnesota. I didn't go up to Minnesota.
I didn't see you in Minnesota. I don't blame you for missing that one. It was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. But 2 years ago, down in Miami, that was a lot of fun. But last year, no, wasn't going to do it.
We didn't go last year either.
Yeah, you didn't?
No. So it's been 2 years since we've seen you in person, like the reunion. We see you every couple of years. Years ago, Joe just started with us on radio. He's retiring from 25 years on our local CBS television station. He's going to come play radio for a while. Romo was, 7, 8, 9 years ago, were on with us every week, talking football. And then, starting his nutrition company that has just blown up. Now he doesn't have time for the weekly segments, but great entertainment because I never know what the hell the guy's going to say.
Well, that's a good thing. It can be. It can be, but, good. You guys are good at what you do, so you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, Bill, I was excited about this interview because, man, I remember watching you, and you were a football player. I'm a hard-nosed, tough football player. Well, 4 Super Bowl championships. What is all that, the memories of that when you look back at a brilliant career?
I literally, in watching games now, sometimes I get sad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, God, I'd give anything to go back out there and do it again. I truly loved playing football, and there's a part of me, like when I first got out, I was like, I needed that break. I didn't realize how tired I really was. And, there's a part of me that almost wants to get back into it in some way. But hey, that, that probably will not happen. But I do miss it. I really do. And I watch it and I love it still. It's a fantastic game, the greatest game to watch. And, I'm blessed that I was able to play for so long.
And for a long time after, you were doing a lot of stuff with the Raiders, but then they leave and move to Vegas. And
they moved to Vegas.
I'm surprised you didn't move too.
You know what? I mean, I did it because I loved it, not because, I loved, the amount of money I was making doing it. I truly did it for fun. And I love the Raiders, and I love talking Raiders, and I love talking football. And it kind of kept me in it a little bit, enough to feel like I was a part of something. And so now, now I'm just, hey, I've been rooting for Brady the last couple of years. And it bummed me out that he's retiring.
Well, it sounds like, if you believe the rumors, that he may not be done, right? And maybe San Francisco is the next stop, a trade for him and Garoppolo.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If it happens, they'll win the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, wow.
Hands down. I would put a lot of money on it. It would be a guarantee. Yes.
Wow.
That's, with what, how good of a play caller Kyle is and the team that they have, they would win the Super Bowl next year.
With Tom Brady.
With Tom Brady.
What if they found a way to get Aaron Rodgers?
They could win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. With Tom Brady, it's a guarantee. Sometimes Aaron Rodgers, you don't know what you're going to get. And it seems like in the biggest game, that's when you don't know what you're going to get and doesn't quite live up to the expectations.
When you look at Brady and going back to him and the age that he's playing in, and you watch him play this last year, still playing his best football. That's such. How weird is that to see a guy that age still performing at that level?
I know it's awesome, and hats off to him. I played till I was 37, at linebacker, and what I had to go through at 37, and now I was playing linebacker, not quarterback. Right. I had to run with running backs and tight ends and receivers and do all that. So that part of it, was harder. But Tom Brady's got to, being a quarterback's not easy. You got to be sharp. You got to be on your game. And, what he was doing, he made me a fan. And I religiously watched Tampa Bay for the last 2 years.
Interesting. Bill Romanowski joining us here on the Blitz on Radio Row in Los Angeles. We're Cowboys country. What do you think? What are your impressions of rookie Micah Parsons?
Love him. And in the beginning, when they had him at inside linebacker and then they moved him more outside, I'm like, are you kidding me? Why wasn't he there from the beginning? This guy's a killer. You can impact the game so much more rushing the passer. And maybe they didn't know how good he could be at that. But, to me, that's where I would keep him. If I ever, and if I was Jerry Jones, and if I ever saw him line up in the middle, like in a middle line, but like a Mike or a Plugger, a Will linebacker, I would call down to whoever the head coach is or the defensive coordinator. I say, you're fired.
When you look at a guy like Micah Parsons, though, and Deebo Samuel, I mean, those guys just seem to be able to do it all because Parsons can play a couple of different positions.
Oh,
obviously, Samuel can do the same.
He could play probably strong safety if he had
Yeah.
to, he's that dynamic. He's that explosive. He's that fast, but where you can impact the game most is rushing the passer.
Absolutely. And I want to see Micah doing a lot more of that. Now, you think about your time with the Raiders and everything that you've done broadcasting the Raiders, and I know they moved on you, but you still follow them. This year was, a disaster, although they, on the field, were able to do a lot of things. What did you think of their decision not to bring back Rich Bisaccia as head coach and go with McDaniels?
You know what? I thought Bisaccia made quite a case to be able to bring him back. And, I thought he earned a spot at the table to get an interview and really think about it for Mark Davis. But I think Josh McDaniels brings more youth, and the combination of him, with a general manager from the same organization to where, these guys eat, breathe, sleep the same kind of football. They were in it together for so many years. I think it was a great choice. You have to realize Mark Davis is turning into a great owner. And you guys would be blown away. I go back to these alumni events that the Raiders put on, and Mark really cares about his alumni. And these events, better than anything the Broncos or 49ers put on.
Really?
He really does it right.
Wow.
And when I say impressive, it is impressive.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is. I've got to ask you this because it drives me crazy, and I would think of the player the way you were would drive you crazy too. I watch football. Obviously, NFL is still king. We had the great playoffs that we had this year, but it drives me nuts when a safety comes up and pops somebody or a linebacker, and they get flagged for it. Does that drive you as crazy as it does me?
You know what? Sometimes it does, and sometimes – it seems like there's a lot of times they'll throw that flag, but they're picking it back up, because they couldn't see that the guy actually hit him with his shoulder.
Yeah.
It would have been hard. It truly would have been really hard. I was a head hitter.
Yeah.
And, I use my head as a weapon. And what these guys are able to do now at full speed and turn and hit with a shoulder, hey, hats off to them because it's not easy.
Bill Romanowski, I know you would have to change your game a lot to play in today's NFL. But if you were kind of transitioning from the way you were playing to what you're seeing now in the middle of it, would you have been able to play till 37?
I could have played in this style of football probably till I was 40. And the reason being, it's turned into more of a passing game. There's not a lot of teams that are going to go up and try to beat you pounding the football. That's not what this game is. Yeah, you have the Tennessee Titans as kind of an outlier that way, but for the most part, teams are going to beat you throwing the football. I was a great coverage linebacker, so for me, it would have actually been easier.
Who was the toughest tight end you had to cover?
Tony Gonzalez.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow, I can see that.
Yeah.
What made him so difficult?
That good. Tony was, if he wanted to, he could block. When he played for Schottenheimer in Kansas City, he made him block. And I tell you what, he could come at you a little bit. I used to grab him by the throat, literally the first play of every game, and I'd squeeze as hard as I possibly could, and he'd get all pissed off, and I'd say, 60 minutes, pal. And then I would say something like, you know what? If you catch a ball on me today, I'll retire. I would mess with him, but he was as good as they get.
So you were a great trash talker. We know that.
Yep.
Anybody ever trash talk you, where you go, damn man, that guy won the trash talk battle?
That's a good. Steve Wisniewski was actually pretty good at it. And he was a damn good guard in the National Football League for a long time. He was the kind of guy where you better not be standing around the pile, because the Raiders, they really would try to take you out if you were standing around. And they had an offensive line coach that I know coached them. And I think they used to get extra bonuses, where if you were standing around a pile, they just level you. So
who do you like Sunday?
If I want the Rams.
Okay.
That's who I'm rooting for. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet on the Bengals.
The 4.5.
Yeah. And I think Burrow is that much better than what the Rams have.
Wow.
At quarterback.
Wow. Interesting.
And Matthew Stafford has done a great job to get where he is. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think there'll be a point in the game where he reverts to the way he played when he was in Detroit. And I think he'll play not to lose. It may not be the whole game. It may be a quarter, but there's going to be a point in this game where he messes up. And, he's had some of that really come into his game throughout the season. And I tell you what, McVay has done a hell of a job to keep it out during the playoffs, but it would pop up still. And it's like they wanted to give the game. They wanted somehow, some way. They wanted Tampa to steal that game.
Yes,
they
tried. Yes, they did.
They tried damn hard, and they were close. But I think the Bengals are going to win.
And I look at the Bengals weren't better than Tennessee. They got, Tennessee got to them 9 times.
I know.
Yet they won the game. On paper, Kansas City, and they win the game.
Kansas City was blowing them out.
Yeah.
It wasn't even really a football game, and I was like, but I also think they are the best at going in at halftime and fixing it. And when they come out in the second half, whatever it is, whatever that magic sauce is, they've got it.
It was magical against Kansas City, that's for sure.
It certainly was. Now, speaking of magic sauce, man, you're a broadcasting pro, Bill Romanowski, because you've got the magic sauce with Nutrition 53 and your Lean One shakes.
I do. And, I'm very blessed. When I left the game, I always worked with the top doctors, scientists, and nutritionists when I played. And when I left, I hired the same group to help me make some of the best products that our country, has ever seen. And I formulated a, fat burning meal replacement shake, Lean One. I have a dynamic natural sleep aid called Lean One Sleep. I rebranded it from Sleep One to Lean One Sleep. And then I have a brain focus product that is like rocket fuel for the brain. And that's Lean One Neuro. And if you take care of those 3 things in your life, you stay lean, you get good sleep, and you have energy and focus, the world is yours.
Wow. I don't know. I was trying to think 2 out of 3, maybe.
Well, I don't know about the neuro and the sleep, and Bill can tell you this. I didn't know Bill had this product. When I had my weight loss surgery in 2010, and I was trying all these different kind of shakes and smoothies, and they all tasted like crap until I found Lean One randomly. Tried it. It was like a milkshake. It was so good, a chocolate milkshake. And I started using it. Then I realized, well, that's Bill Romanowski's. And then we reached out, we connected, had him on talking about it, and used it for years.
Yeah. So, it's nice to be able to do something where you can impact people. And I really enjoy that. Football was all about me and my ego. And, and I projected that every damn Sunday as hard as I possibly could. And, people didn't realize that, in the locker room, I was the guy helping people out. I was the guy helping people, sleep better. I was helping them out with energy throughout the season. I was helping them with therapy, and so it was pretty easy for me, to kind of transition, and it was fun. And I like being in a position to impact people.
Well, it's been fun watching that company grow from what it was to getting the Kings and everything else that you've been doing. It's been a hell of a success. Bill Romanowski, 4-time Super Bowl champion. And can I call you Smoothie King?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Smoothie King here on Radio Rue in Los Angeles. Always great catching up, my friend.
Thank you.
Bill Romanowski, Nutrition 53, legendary 4-time Super Bowl champ. And, Ryan Eagle, we could always tell when we're going a little long and Pledge wants us to break because all of a sudden he's playing Metallica.
Metallica, that's the break music?
Well, no, it's typically what we play going out, but I guess Pledge was just trying to send me a subtle reminder like, dude, we're running over on time here because you could talk to Romanowski for an hour, so he's going to keep sorry, I didn't mean for that to go on the air. Get your attention. You look up and he's like, get out.
It's time.
We got a clock that we've got to follow. Coming up, we've got something to give away, some of those movie tickets to give away. Aaron Taylor will join us at 6 o'clock as we are in L.A. for our AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage from Los Angeles. Of course, the game is on Sunday. There's no better place to watch that game than over at the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. Whether it's the big game on Sunday, you got the silver and black in action tonight. Get over to the Rue Pub to watch the game, but go hungry. The food at the Rue Pub is fantastic. Their kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day. Everything is made from scratch. You want wings? They've got the biggest and the best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu. They got great appetizers. Those Philly cheesesteak fries are phenomenal. Their onion rings are outstanding. They've got salads and wraps if you're into that. And again, that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day. They got all the beers you want, full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town and indoor cornhole. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. The Rue Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
The Rams, the Bengals, 4 quarters away from a championship. Who will raise Lombardi's trophy? Don't miss a minute all week from LA. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a great family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and their service after the sale is second to none. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
Do you love your garage? Can you get your cars and the kids' bikes in? Jason Minix here for Garagenization, your garage storage solution. With a variety of shelving, overhead racks, slat walls, and closed cabinet options, Garagenization can make your garage functional for the entire family. Call 210-664-4494 and have them give you a free customized plan for your family's needs. For over a decade, Garagenization has helped people love their garage. Learn more online at GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Ever have questions about your prescriptions, even in the middle of the night? Well, Walgreens now offers Pharmacy Chat 24/7, so you can ask an expert about things like the correct dosage of your medications or possible side effects. Speaking of side effects, the side effect of getting your questions answered at 2 a.m.? Sleeping much easier for the next 6 hours. Try Pharmacy Chat today or tonight, online or on the Walgreens app.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
But they need a proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Rams, the Bengals. We've got you covered all week long, live from Los Angeles. Don't miss a minute all week from LA. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Chia Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Let's talk the biggest stories in sports tomorrow morning, 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Live in Los Angeles, our Radio Row coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Super Bowl champ Aaron Taylor going to join us coming up in about 11 minutes. Pledge is going to shoot me if we don't give away these Fandango codes. They're movie tickets to go see Death on the Nile in theaters this Friday, February 11th. If you want to go, just be caller number 9 right now. 656 ESPN.
Jason's favorite number.
3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, you see this guy, Eric Messersmith, an old San Antonio sports star alumni, had the hard line with Ari back in the day. Now a wonderful house dad in Los Angeles. You're just killing it.
Hey,
hanging out with us on Radio Row.
I have a podcast too, but doesn't everybody have a podcast now? I mean,
well, you're making the rounds on Radio Row promoting it. You want to plug your podcast?
Yeah, sure. It's absolutely. It's called Take No Offense, and you can find it on Apple Podcasts and also on a video version on YouTube.
So what does that entail? Take no offense.
Well, so basically, it's my friend and I who grew up together, and now we live on opposite sides of the country. And, being in radio for a long time, after in San Antonio, then St. Louis, I just wanted to get back to doing something. And so we talk about sports, but we also talk about politics, TVs, movies. It's more kind of a wider net. So it's fun. I really enjoy it. Gives us a chance to catch up too. And 5 people enjoy it. So that's good.
And one of the great things, and your mother, I mean, Patty's, I'm sure, doing wonderful.
Yes.
And she loves hearing her son talk about nothing. And, it's all good. But Radio Row is one of those things where we see all our radio friends and you see them once a year. It's like a big convention. Now you're out here, but you live here. I mean, we wanted to bring you down here because we figured you would have all the restaurant recommendations.
He's got
nothing.
Nothing. In my defense, I moved here about 9 months before the COVID lockdown. So we were just kind of getting situated out here. Then everything shut down. And I know in Texas, you guys opened things back up pretty quickly. That did not happen so much here in LA.
Now, first off, you somehow tripped into marrying Christina Coleman, right?
Yes.
She is a superstar on Fox News.
Yes.
Now,
formerly
at KBB. But all I know is we needed to connect with Messersmith to go eat because every other photo that she posts is at some incredible restaurant that, where the stars like she goes, and somehow you're in some of those photos too.
She dragged me along.
And it's like, well, where's that place? I don't know. Let me call Christina and ask her. We invited the wrong person.
The problem is in LA, it's such a massive area. So we live in Santa Monica, and I just don't I don't venture out of the bubble over there very often. So, downtown LA to me is almost like another
So you just
city.
stay in the Richie areas in Santa Monica.
I don't know if I'd say that, but yeah, we tend to. It's funny. I sound like a local. It's like I don't go east of the 405, and so I'm like in that box west of the 405.
I don't blame you. I don't know how you get anywhere in this town. It's incredible.
Yeah.
We leave yesterday. It says 20 minutes, and we get on the freeway. It turns into an hour. I mean, the traffic out here is nuts. So if I'm you, I would just stay put too.
And we're lucky because where she works close to where we live. Our son goes to school very close, and so and you have everything you need there. We're so lucky. We're 10 minutes from the beach, so it's a nice little area. And there's not a ton of traffic.
That's nice. Santa Monica is great, by the way. All of that area is fantastic. So when we get off the air, I'm going to need some advice on having to deal with this guy on a daily basis. I'm sure you've got some advice and some things that you can tell me to make this a little bit of an easier process.
Yeah. I'll have to talk to you off the air. Yeah. No, Minix and I hosted with him a lot. We were filling in when back then you were doing the show with Dat Win. And when Dat was out or when Ari was out, you would hop on the hard line. So we did a lot of radio together, had a lot of good times, did a lot of traveling. Jay, how long have you been on the show now with Jason?
A little over a month now.
Week 5.
Week 5. All right,
still the honeymoon period, right?
It gets better. It gets better.
Yes, we're off to a great start. But now Ron Engel and I have been friends since 1993.
Jeez, long time.
When we worked at KTSA back then. But I go back to all stories that cannot be told on air.
That's true. That is definitely true.
Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, that was quite a trip. That was 2000, and I was saying today I had not been to a radio row since New York when I worked with you guys in 2014. But New York was fun. That was a nice trip.
It was.
But New Orleans was just a whole different world. The food, the nightlife, everything.
Everything about New Orleans. And it was a group like we have now. There's 5 or 6 of us on that trip. And the house we rented in New Orleans said it had X number of rooms, and it did, but some of them, he was in the attic. He was in an attic that had a couch that was quote unquote a bed. I was in another part of the attic that if you stood up, because the way the roof goes, if you Rob wouldn't have fit in that room, right? I mean,
well, the funniest part was, Dat was working at the time with you and with us, and he was not long out of the NFL.
Yeah,
I mean, he had retired just a few years prior to that, and so here you have this guy who is used to this life,
right?
in NFL, and now we're at the Super Bowl, but we're in this house, and Dat is sharing an attic space with me.
It's not the Ritz-Carlton, right?
And I was like, Dad, this probably was just like what it was like when you're in the NFL, right?
And Dad gets up at 4 a.m, no matter how much drinking we did the night before, right? And we would go outside and drink coffee, and somehow ended up making friends with a one-eyed cat. And did it have 3 legs? Was it 1 eye and 3 legs? I mean, it was just the strangest damn thing.
And Dad he would sometimes be getting up when we'd be coming to bed.
That's true.
I believe it in New Orleans, that's for sure. That happens easily there, for sure.
That does. We're going to have a fun night tonight in L.A. and tell some more war stories, because this guy, I mean, you think the way we make fun of Jimenez and his driving abilities, Messersmith is never allowed to drive.
No, it's not good when I drive in a new city. That's for sure.
I'm even worried about you out here in L.A. I mean, you can barely find your way around Olmus Park.
Well, that's true. I'll tell you, even finding you guys today, I was like, man, where do I go? I live in this city, but like I said, I don't come downtown much.
He texted me 4 times trying to figure out Radio Row from inside the convention center.
It's a big convention center, Jason.
Well, in his defense, it took us about an hour and a half to find this place when we got here.
Yeah, well, but again, they've added signs, and I was telling them, do this, come here, go to Old Spice and go left. And he couldn't even figure that out. Eric, great to see you,
It was good to see you guys, and big hello to all the people back in San Antonio.
Super Bowl champion Aaron Taylor will join us coming up next here on The Blitz, live on Radio Row in Los Angeles. And you think about the game coming up Sunday, you know you're going to fire up the grill, because it's one of those big grilling days. You want to get the best meat for that grill, you need to get into Tri-County Meat Market. There are 2 great locations. Tri-County Meat Market, locally owned and full service. They have everything you need. Beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, more. They've got preseason meats that you can just throw on the grill and you're good to go. If there's certain cuts that you're trying to get, they will take you through that and make sure you're getting what you need. Take advantage of the Pick 5 for 25. Tri-County Meat Market always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Hebner. Online at tricountymeat.com.
San Antonio Sports Star is live from LA all week leading up to the game.
Always soccer for
The Rams, the Bengals, balls will be flying and pads will be cracking as both teams give their all for pigskin immortality. The latest news, moves, and A-list guests.
Joining us now, the Moves, Daryl Johns. We get to talk to Michael Irvin.
Don't miss a minute. All week, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Guys, did you know that starting around age 30, men's testosterone levels can decline naturally? As a result, you may experience low energy, lack of focus, problems in the bedroom, or even depression. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy with Synergenics. It's easy. Just take the test at one of our clinics in the San Antonio area. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
So here's the deal. If you're an entrepreneur, a contractor, gigster, self-employed, or a freelancer, that means you're in business for yourself, which means you can get a business bank account that pays you back 2.2% in 2022. It's called Nearside.com, and right now, it's free. I get it. Usually when banks say free, they drop the R and it's fee. Monthly fee, overdraft fee. With Nearside, there's no fees, not even a sign-up fee. I'm talking free, the kind that feels like sunshine and makes you do a happy dance, especially when your Nearside debit card pays you back the 2.2 in 2022. That's 2.2% of everything you buy for taking care of business. From a laptop or a paintbrush to work shoes and cheeseburgers, it's free money back into your business. No hidden fees, just really, truly free. Start your free account today at nearside.com/free. Debit card rebate restrictions apply. Visit nearside.com for details. Nearside is not a bank. Banking services are provided by Lending Club Bank N.A. member FDIC. Nearside.com/free.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers, just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz. Live from Los Angeles, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage continues here in LA, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Nearside App. As it happens on a radio row with, live guests, things run long. I don't know where Aaron Taylor is.
He's probably stuck in another interview. We've noticed that a little bit today, or I certainly have. You know this already. But, some of these guys that have guests you're supposed to get at a certain time, they kind of keep them a long time. Mm-hmm. And you see handlers over there, rolling their thing, trying to get everybody to rap, and people just don't listen to it.
Oh, you mean like y'all did Bill Romanowski?
I don't know what you're talking about, Pledge.
It happens. It's live radio. It's part of it. But then again, our runner is gone.
Is nowhere to be found.
I
right?
mean,
yeah.
where is Michael Jimenez that should be going around and trying to figure out where is Aaron Taylor and can come back? But
Well, I think Jimenez thinks he's a big star now because he interviewed that girl, the TikTok girl. What's her name?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what her name is.
Sure, Annie.
Yeah, Annie something.
Agar.
And so,
Yeah, that one.
her. And yeah, so, they seem to hit it off pretty well. And so, I think it went to Jimenez's head.
Jimenez, and again, it happens, to everybody the first couple times you come because you're not used to being around so many superstars.
Right.
The amount of selfies that this guy has tried to take, that Jimenez is taking. And, and I've seen him just walk up and try to take a selfie, the guy that's not even paying attention to him. And, he's doing a good job, but he cannot drive.
No, he's not a good driver, although he has been the designated driver. So maybe some of that is our fault.
Well, no, I mean, at some point, you've got 5 daughters that you taught how to drive. I've got one.
Yes.
Rob has 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy has 2 that are driving. No, 1 that's driving. He gets to go through it 2 more times. And I'm more nervous with Michael driving.
I tell you what, that dude is he's challenged behind the wheel. That is for sure.
Well, he's not good at backing up even with cameras. even with cameras. So we're in a parking garage across the street. And we passed many good spots.
Yes.
Because he was worried about making the turn and kept passing spots because he was worried about making the turn and not only getting in, but then also getting out. And then even like where we're staying, and we're not in the best part of town, he needed to, there's a lot of traffic. So we take a right instead of a left, go down. Well, we could have turned one place. Well, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if that was a road or not. It's clearly a road, right? But so we keep going down before we can just turn around and make our exits. Michael Jimenez is back. Will you go find Aaron Taylor? He's with Jimmy and see where he's at. So we will find something. Maybe he's not going to show up. Who knows?
Well, the only thing I've got to say to summarize all of that Michael Jimenez driving thing is I'm glad that rental car is not in my name. I'm glad it's in your name because the rest of us don't have to worry about it. So Jimenez can scratch it, dent it, whatever he's doing, and it goes back to you.
It does. I tried to get him to, he's talking about trying to back into a spot. He couldn't do that.
Couldn't do it.
He couldn't back into a spot that actually had 2 open spaces around it with the camera.
Every spot in that garage said compact, and he was not going to park in a compact parking space. There were not any others there.
Well, and there was a lot of cars that wouldn't be designed as compact that were easily in all of those spaces. I mean, there is no big truck parking in Los Angeles.
Just behind the scenes here in our trip to Los Angeles. I feel like it's quite the adventure that we are in the midst of, halfway through a great adventure here in Los Angeles on Radio Row, getting ready for the Super Bowl. And, man, I got to tell you, Jason, that today has been absolutely, so far, my favorite day.
Just wait.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, Michael Irvin will be on R&R tomorrow morning with Rob and Rudy. I know they taped it today, behind the curtain stuff.
Of course.
Well, Michael ain't rolling down here at 3 a.m. like Rudy is going to have to. But, and Rudy's, well, he's a trooper. I mean, he was there. But I will tell you now, Michael Irvin tomorrow morning, because we've all heard the interview. You won't need your coffee in the morning.
No.
He will get you fired up and ready to go.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what time that interview is going to take place, but
I don't think they know yet either.
Well, I'm going to probably wake up for that thing. Got to get up early for a radio interview anyway, so I'm going to tune them in on Facebook and watch.
Absolutely. Good stuff there. Although, since we have a few minutes, and Rudy, you are more than welcome to come over here and grab some headsets. Rudy J. Well, Rudy says he knows what this is about.
I'm glad you do, because I don't have a clue.
I got to show the rookie.
All right.
I got to show the rookie over there how to take a beat.
You're going to show the rookie how to take a beating.
Take your L, man. Just take your L. I had to take my L. Let's get it over with.
We got some behind-the-scenes stories with Rudy J.
I get to get beat up now. Hold on. Let me get in focus for this.
So don't spill your coffee. How many cups is this for you? 81?
This is the fourth today.
Fourth today. This is Wednesday, right?
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. We good, baby. We got to get some dinner. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to smoke another cigar.
Well, that's where I wanted to get with you. Dinner. So last night, we drive down to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And, Rudy, we're in this restaurant, and there, all the meals, they come with a soup, a salad, and then your entree. Rudy's looking at me. I don't want that. Like, what soup do you want? Do I got to get it? Yes, it comes with it. So what did you end up with?
Smoked salmon soup. No,
chowder.
Smoked salmon chowder.
I went with the clam chowder. He went with the clam chowder. And Rudy was like, I don't want chowder. I don't want soup. Give me the smoked salmon. He wasn't going to eat any of it. Bitching about it the whole time when the waiter left. I don't even know why they're going to bring it. It's a waste.
I planned on no-look passing it down to the end of the table when it got to me, and it looked like jail. It looked like jail food. It looked like something they served on the longest yard.
And all of a sudden he takes it.
Pretty good.
Phenomenal.
And then all of a sudden he couldn't finish his dinner because he had so much soup.
Yeah, that soup was good. Well, chowder.
Yeah,
chowder. It was good. The salmon wasn't fishy. The little potatoes or whatever were great. The flavor was great. It was actually really, really good. Like a top two. Well, I've never even eaten chowder.
Oh man!
So what I just heard was I didn't know what it was, never had it, wasn't going to try it.
Yeah, and then I was like, I got put the tongue in it. Oh. Like, okay, what was the place called again? Only
Tony's.
Only Tony.
Old Tony's. Only Tom. All right, dude, I got to give you crap.
So where's the L? I still haven't heard an L.
He's getting to
because that was a big win there.
He's setting me up for the kick in the gut.
I got.
Let's get to it.
Well, no, you tell the story. Yeah. Well, first off, well, what?
Y'all tell it.
All right. Well,
y'all tell me from y'all's position how it went down.
Well, I thought,
there's Aaron Taylor.
I thought about it after a while. Hang on, Aaron Taylor's coming over here.
We'll have to save the story for a different time, right?
Save the story.
Table 21.
I mean,
they're trying to figure it out.
Are we gonna get the L, or are we not gonna get the L? Is the question. And you
talk about really behind the scenes.
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
Right?
Well, dude, it's live radio.
It is.
I mean,
it's fantastic.
It happens. It happens. What's going on, man?
Numbered table with no number.
Well, that's it. There are numbers. Hold on. We'll show you how the NFL has put the numbers on these tables. It's on a little
about
sheet
this big.
Well, yeah. It's like written really small on the side. Aaron Taylor joining us now here live on Radio Row, Super Bowl champion with the Packers, NFL college and football analyst. How's your Radio Row been, man?
It's been good, man. It's football's a people game. And the Super Bowl, what's so great about it is you get a chance to come and be around your people you played with, played against, played for, dudes that you didn't, but just watch. I bumped into Anthony Munoz this morning.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm going to do it. Hey, Mr. Munoz, you were one of my favorite players.
All right.
I'm a grown-ass man fanboying off Anthony Munoz, but how could you not? The dude was a stud.
Oh, man.
All right, so, and again, we all fanboy here, and it doesn't matter. You got a Super Bowl ring. Yes. You talk about fanboying, right? So you meet a guy that is young in the league, maybe won a Heisman. I mean, you got kids older than this guy. Would you go, hey, sir, Mr. Smith, can we get a photo?
Is there somebody at this table?
Yeah, this right here. Yeah.
Dude right here, Rudy J. with Devontae Smith.
Did
hey,
that
sir.
Happen? Did you go, sir? Oh,
He went sir. He called him sir.
Rudy, how old are you?
And then look at the gray in his beard.
44, and you went, sir?
Not only that,
and Mr. Smith, and then he lied to him.
Yeah, said he was an Eagles fan.
He lied to him.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Can you believe that?
Oh, man. Did you tinkle on yourself?
I think he did. He left for a little while. I don't know what he was doing.
My
but
gosh, Rudy, that's okay. No judgment, man. No judgment. He's their own.
Dude, I mean,
That's
seriously,
incredible.
because I mean, we're all Cowboy fans.
Well, not all of us.
Man, that is the definition of selling out,
right?
If you're like, it's one thing if you go on the other side, another division, but you're a Cowboy fan calling an Eagle player sir to lie to get his autograph?
A picture.
Just a picture,
Okay.
yeah.
Just a picture. Then it got the Heisman.
Oh man.
No, we got the photo,
Super Bowl is where legends are made, and unfortunately, Rudy's going to be a legend of a kind that he may not want to be. Rudy. Man.
So we
See what I
understand
deal with?
what you're talking about when you're doing it, because all of us have been doing that. I mean, depending on which player comes around, it's like, oh man, that's Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Well, it's Barry Sanders, and it's like, wow. You know,
Barry Sanders was one of a handful of guys in my entire career that I would get off the bench to go watch.
Yeah.
You got to understand, he was on the, like, when I'm resting on offense, because we just came off the field and my defense is out there and he's making them look silly. He was one of the players that I would go watch because that dude was built different. And like, they've done that sports analytics thing where they measure the angle of his ankles. Like, he had so much ankle flexion that literally he was one of a kind and a unicorn, that for his style of play, his physiology allowed him to do something that most others can't do. And it was phenomenal to watch. I was an NFL player. I was a first-round draft pick. I earned my right to be on that field, but Barry had something I could never imagine having, and it was worth getting up off the bench.
dude, I
see.
cried when he retired.
Unbelievable.
I have shed a tear. I was like,
and he retired at a time where he easily could have been the all-time leading rusher in the history of the NFL, but he ended his career like he ended touchdown drives where he turned to hand the ball to the ref and jogged to the sideline.
Exactly.
It's insane, right?
Unbelievable.
I mean,
like, the humility there is something that I think we've lost largely as a society, let alone our sport of football, and he should be commended for it.
And again, I look at like a Tom Brady who announced his retirement. Then it's like, yeah, we'll see, right? But
that was more of an FU to the people that broke the story where he wanted to control it. Now he's dabbling just to keep it interesting. But to your point, yes.
He looks like Ben Roethlisberger probably should have retired a year or two ago. And here's Barry Sanders. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go do something else. And most of us, and I don't, whenever you decided it was over, or did they decide it was over? Because most don't get the opportunity to decide on their own at the top of their game. Yeah, I've got some in the tank, but I'm not going to empty it all.
Yeah, it's a replacement business, and very few of us get to call our own shot. It's the NFL stands for no effing love and not for long. So it's I think I was reading the tea leaves and was making their decision easier for them. And you can't fire me, I quit. But a lot of people thought I should have retired a long time ago as a TV analyst too. So, you know, who's to say? Like, maybe I'm the Ben Roethlisberger of college football, and it's time for me to hang them up, and I can go get pictures with Rudy.
You know, can I see your ring?
Yes.
Hang up.
Oh man,
Rudy, come here. Come here. Can he wear your ring?
Oh,
come here, Rudy. Come here, Rudy.
That's the wrong kind of legend I want touching this.
Come here, Rudy.
You want to get some bad vibes.
Okay, if you're gonna do the Heisman for Mr. Smith, I want you to do an offensive lineman pose. I want to see your pass set.
Oh, Rudy's
look
over
at
here.
this. Yeah,
do it into the camera.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Get your elbows in. What you doing, boy?
Yeah.
Come on. Here we go. Chest out. Come on now. There we go.
Come on
there
now.
we go. Lower center of gravity. I don't know
that
if
quarterback was sacked.
I don't know if Rudy's got the flexibility that Barry had.
Yeah. Sad part is that's a soccer player.
Oh my gosh.
Was
Man.
Yeah, that was
soccer
definitely
player.
a sack right there for sure.
There was you could start for Cincinnati with that pass set.
That's it. Turnstile. There you go.
Sorry,
Great
fellas.
segue. Professional broadcaster.
Love it.
Nowhere close
Pick
to
it up.
hanging
Keep
it up.
moving, guys.
Absolutely. Everybody keeps talking about it. Joe Burrow, if he can stay upright, will have a chance. But Can that offensive line protect him long enough to get rid of the pass quickly?
I think an even bigger question is, can Joe Burrow get rid of the football quickly and not hold on to it so long? That's part of what compounded the pressure that they've been giving up front. They were third in the league in sacks allowed. A lot of that was Joe Burrow trying to do too much. But you love a quarterback that'll hang there in the pocket, tries to make things happen down the field, has ice water running through his veins, but at times it was problematic. So a big key to Cincinnati is going to be their play call choice, staying in the head of the sticks so that they're in mixed downs on third down where it's not predictable and obvious pass. They're going to have to play clean and not have penalties. They're going to need Joe Mixon to show up, whether it's a running back out of the backfield catching the football, which he's got great hands and largely done this year. He scored 13 touchdowns on the ground. His production's been a little waning towards the end of the year, but to me, he's a key player. How are they going to help in pass protection? With tight ends chipping, with Joe Mixon and the other running backs coming and chipping before they release? Are they going to slide? Are they going to do boots? Are they going to move the release point? They're going to have to do everything they can because the Rams bring a trio of players in Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, and Von Miller that in and of themselves are a matchup nightmare. And when you have all three of them and can mix and match, makes it really hard from a scheme standpoint to call protections where you feel sound that your guys are going to hold up.
You notice I caught that. I don't know if anybody caught that. It was spoken like a true offensive lineman, right? The quarterback's holding the ball too long.
Yeah, throw the damn ball, Joe.
Quarterbacks holding the ball
What do you
too long,
expect
right?
an offensive lineman to say?
So I'm wondering, did you guys used to talk about that? I wish you'd get rid of the damn ball.
Oh, there's no question. Jim Harbaugh famously would hold on to the ball too long when he was in San Diego the year after I left, and Kevin Gogan, in no uncertain terms, told him that he should get rid of the football. Jim Harbaugh shared with Kevin that he was unappreciative of what he said, using some expletives. So the game ends. They go into the locker room. Jim famously goes up to Gogan and says, "Hey, man, that wasn't cool out there. You know, I'm trying to do my best. We can't be bickering." And Gogs was a street fighter, man. He was cut from a different cloth. And he says, "You know, it's all cool and everything when we got our pads on, we're out on the field in front of the fans and people are separating us. But how about I follow you out to your car and beat the blank out of you in front of your family? Like, how about that? Because nobody's going to be able to separate us then." So that's what I thought. Throw the damn ball. So, yeah, offensive linemen, we don't like quarterbacks.
Yeah, nasty.
Don't throw the ball. That was the moral of that story.
Nasty, right?
Yeah.
All right, but when you hear people bitch about offensive line play, right, do you take offense to it, or do you say, okay, this is like, I talk about this on the show. I can talk about a lot of positions. I can't grade offensive linemen on what they're doing, just watching the game, play in and play out. I mean, you can see when some guy gets beat, and it looks pretty obvious. But outside of that, that's a lot of times hard to tell and grade what an offensive lineman is doing.
I'm telling you what. I played this position my whole life. I created a college football award where we evaluate it. There are lots of times, like 30-40% of the time, that if I don't know what the protection was and definitively who was supposed to do what, can't grade it either, because I don't know what a guy does. He may look bad late on a play on a guy that he's fallen off of, but that may not be his guy. He may just be trying to help out because somebody else busted. It's really hard to evaluate it. And I think sometimes fans watch TV and they look at PFF grades, which are atrocious. Their analysis and stats and data are beautiful, but nobody respects their grades within the sport of football because they don't know a lot of times what offensive linemen and other players are asked to do. You have to look at it with a critical eye. Scouting is about what guys can do and what they can't do and being able to project what they might be able to do. But when you're watching football at home as a fan and you're trying to evaluate our position, understand that you've got a general sense of maybe 60% of understanding about what's supposed to take place, what went wrong, who it ultimately is on. When it's obvious and somebody gets beat inside because they overreach or get beat underneath, blah, 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 then yeah, but there's some nuances to the sport at all positions. The quarterback on an interception, that could be the receiver that rounded off his route, right? It could be a sack, could be the fact that a back free released when the safety came down to the box and came in the B gap and nobody picked him up when he should have stayed and filled. football is chess, and I think sometimes as fans we watch it through checkered eyes, and I think it clouds our understanding of what's really taking place.
Well, it's really easy for us to look at a play and say, hey, well, that offensive lineman got beat and the quarterback got sacked and it was his fault. So, I mean, that's just, I guess, the nature of the beast. You know, as mentioned, you know, we Dallas Cowboys, we cover them quite often, and they led the league in penalties this year. And obviously down the stretch, they had a lot of holding penalties that ruined a lot of good plays. I've heard it said that there's holding on every play. Is that true?
Well, I'm of the ilk that if you're not holding, you're not trying. You just don't care. Yes, but there's things that you can do to put yourself in position where you don't need to hold as egregiously as not. I came from the school where you had knuckles up so that you had your palms so that you could put pressure on the defender. A lot of guys go thumbs up, and what that does is it invites the claws. You're fine, you're in here, but them dudes are creatures on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and when they start to disengage from your frame and shed you, now all of a sudden your reaction is to hold on, and you impede. The referee sees that little movement, a jerk, even though they come free, and that's enough to get the flag. What people also don't understand is that the officials watch game tape too, and they know players' tendencies. They used to come up to me and be like, we got your eye on your 73. We know you like to run down the field and peel people off the pile. You do that today too late, we're going to throw a flag on you.
Oh, wow.
So they do their homework, so they know who the holders are. They know who the defensive linemen are that crowd the neutral zone. They know all the tendencies of the players because they need to look for that stuff to make sure they get it right.
Wow.
Aaron Taylor joining us here on the Blitz, Super Bowl champion, won it with the Green Bay Packers when they beat the New England Patriots. You got to tell us a good Brett Favre story.
Man, this is a family show with us? This is air after 11 Eastern?
Dude, it's 6:23. It is live right now in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, man.
Can you clean it up?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll say this.
We're smart. We can fill in the gaps.
I'll say, well, there are some body part tricks that he was famous for.
I'm not talking about his phone.
The flying squirrel was one, the wristwatch sitting in gum, and the proverbial punching bag. I'll let you guys fill in those gaps. He was also a huge practical joker with stink bombs. Like right when Holmgren would walk in, he'd like break one of those sulfur stink bombs. And Holmgren go, hey man, we got Jesus Christ, what is that? We'd all start dying laughing. Like Brett was the toughest dude I ever played at any position on any level. I watched him walk into the stadium on crutches my second year there. I think it was 95. Throw 3 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals, walk out of there on crutches.
Wow.
His ability to play with pain was unparalleled. He was a football player. It never was about us. I was part of a 7-sack allowed Monday night game in Minnesota where it was loud and John Randall and company teed off on us. We couldn't do anything right. And it wasn't him yelling at us like, come on, guys, I know you're struggling, but give me a little bit of time. We'll be able to hit him up over the top with a double move. Just hang in there. And that's the type of competitor he was, man. When the game was on the line, he wanted the ball in his hand. As long as he didn't throw late across his body over the middle, we'd be all right.
You know, we often say, same with Aaron, look at Brett. The Packers with those 2 great quarterbacks, don't you feel like they should have had more than 2 Super Bowls? And, you know, with Brett, one of the things that made him great was his ability to throw risky, but that also cost him a lot of INTs.
Yeah, that wasn't the problem in Super Bowl 32 when we scored 28 points and lost. It was our defensive front 7 that couldn't stop Terrell Davis in the run game. So, like, I know all too well what goes into it. You look at the Packers this year and the damn special teams that flopped there at the end. Like, you can always point to something. It's never definitive, usually, that it's one thing. Even if it's a field goal that gets missed that looks obvious, there's some third down conversions that should have been made, but somebody made a mistake that didn't happen and you had to punt the ball away. There's always a story behind the story, so it's not as simple. Yeah, seemingly there should be more, and I should have 2 rings right now and go down in history in that elite group of back-to-back Super Bowl
winners. I'm a Cowboy fan. I seemingly feel like they should have a lot more too, because Dez caught it.
You've been through a lot.
He has, man.
And speaking of going through a lot, guys, I'm here today rocking a Same Here shirt. Same Here is a global alliance of professional athletes and entertainers and musicians that are coming together to huddle up to change the narrative around mental health. I've unfortunately lost 8 dudes to completed suicide from my football circles. It's a real deal. We're at the single greatest time of uncertainty we've had in our generation in quite some time this last 2 years post-COVID. Everybody has been affected and been through it. I've held my son as he's cried himself to sleep because he can't go to practice and can't go to school. Businesses that have shut down, divorces, people that have gotten sick and died. We've all gone through it. So mental health isn't binary. It's not you're sick or not. It's where are you falling on the continuum. So people like myself and Hunter Henry and Shamiko Coldsclaw and Amanda Beard are saying, yo, same here. We're successful people that have gone through some things. Let's talk about the causes and conditions, what it was like, what we did about it, what it's like now, so that we can move forward and advance this fight on this other pandemic that we're in the very early innings on, so that we can all just enjoy a better quality of life that we all deserve and that's sitting right at our feet.
Hashtag on the shirt is hashtag same here. Is there a website people can go to learn more?
Yes, there is. Thank you for asking that. It's samehereglobal.org, samehereglobal.org. And you can follow us on social at samehere_global, both on Twitter and Instagram. Help join the fight, help join the huddle, and let's shift the narrative on mental health and knock it on its ass.
Awesome.
Great stuff. Aaron Taylor, Super Bowl champ. See him on CBS, analyst there. You got all kinds of stuff going on, man. And go give Rudy a bunch of crap on your way out.
Rudy's already been through a lot. So have you as a Cowboys fan. So
I have.
It's time for me to peace out.
There you go. Good stuff. Hashtag same here. Go check out the website. Darren Ravel will join us live coming up next here on Radio Row in Los Angeles. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I know I've used Hill Electric a variety of projects at my house, including some extra outlets in the garage, a nice light outside. If you have some issues at the house, whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, you need to fix that fuse that's always flickering, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. Call 210-404-9074 or hill-electric.com. Darren Ravel joins us next after Sports Center with James Fletcher.
Thanks a lot, Jason. We'll start things off today with the trade, as the San Antonio Spurs are being active near the deadline. Their second trade this year, as they were part of a 3-team trade, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, that acquired Thomas Satoransky from Portland and a second-round pick from the Utah Jazz. And San Antonio is sending Juancho Hernan-Gomez, who they acquired in the Bryn Forbes trade last month, to the Jazz, who also acquired newly acquired Portland guard Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was acquired in the C.J. McCollum trade yesterday. The Jazz also will be sending forward Joe Ingles and Elijah Hughes, plus a second-round pick to the Portland Trailblazers. In college hoops tonight, the 9th-ranked Texas Tech Red Bears are in Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners, with tip-off set for 8 o'clock, as that game will be televised on ESPNU. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So I used the savings from switching to Progressive 30 years ago to buy tickets to the championship game. You know, between those two teams that didn't exist 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm a big Alaska Palm Trees fan, which is a team now in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Was the guy who wrecked the company vehicle distracted because he was too busy making a TikTok video instead of watching the road? He still only has 2 followers, his mom and dad, but now you're hurt and need help. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
If I'm going to work from my home office, I need my home office to work for me.
It's possible at Staples. To be most productive, my home office needs to have everything my office has.
Also possible because your local Staples store has the tools your business needs to get work done from home. And right now, you can save up to 40% on select chairs to put the finishing touch on your home office. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26. In-store only while supplies last.
All used cars are not the same. At Give Me the VIN, we pay more for the clean ones. You got a nice one that's nicer than everybody else's? Go to GiveMeTheVIN.com, load it up. I'll pay you more. If it's normal, we'll pay you the top of normal. If it's crappy, we'll pay you the top of crappy. But we do understand the difference at GiveMeTheVIN.com, and we can price them both. But we're America's best car buyer because we bought $1 billion of cars in 2021. Only at
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
This is The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Our AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage in Los Angeles continues, brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor, Nearside App, and Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Darren Ravel joining us now with the Action Network Sports Business. You might have remembered him all the days at ESPN, everything. I mean, exactly. Let's see. Let's see if your mic says.
Hey,
there you are.
Hey,
absolutely.
Yeah, 13 years with ESPN, 6 years with CNBC, and been with the Action Network for 3. So
much to talk about with you, and so we're going to go all over the place. But let's start with the game. Seems like everybody is talking about Cincinnati and 4.5, and that's making me nervous.
I don't think there's any great value with this game. I mean, when you think about the Super Bowl, you're thinking about where's the money, and it's 50-50 on the money at 4.5. And bookmakers make bets themselves, right? If you look at any game during the week, sometimes it's 80% of the money on one side and 20% on the other. They don't have to balance it out. But during the Super Bowl, bookmakers like to balance it out a little bit more because there's so much money on the line. And so when it comes to Wednesday or Thursday of a week and a half of having these lines out, it's pretty much refined. It's not going to go through any key number of 3 or 7. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's going to be more people motivated to take the Rams money line or the Bengals money line.
Well, it's interesting because I don't know what the line started at. I think it started at 4.5.
It started at 3.5, moved to 4.5.
So that means more money's on the Rams?
Potentially. Sometimes it doesn't exactly work that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, the money line, because we've had some other people that we've talked to.
Yeah.
And like Jason said, a lot of people seem to like the Bengals to win the game outright.
I think it's a hard game to call. I shouldn't do this because, in general, the Super Bowl to me just doesn't have a lot of value. If you look at the total, 48.5. I mean, the average game is like 46. I really don't know if this is going to be 13-3.
Yeah.
Or there'll be two mistakes that will lead to two quick scores. That's why I'm going to bet this game live. So I will bet it live. See how it feels. What are you doing,
Darren? We live in Texas. We can't do that on our phone.
Yeah, I live in New Jersey with a choice of 31 apps. So,
so the party's at your house.
I mean,
we're all coming over.
Although I'll be in Vegas but I'll bet live, and I'll be in Vegas for the game. But yeah, I can't tell you what it's like. I mean, probably 80% of my bets are live, and I am just it is like a quant machine in my house. I go with the unders more than the overs because people say life is too short to bet the unders. If you want to win, do you want to win, or do you want, life is short. I think life's shorter when you lose money. I think life is much shorter when you lose money. So, there's some sort of inherent value on unders because the algorithm, accounts for people liking the overs. But yeah, I don't see anything right now. So
as connected as you are in the gambling industry, so many states now have legalized
19 mobile. Yeah.
Texas isn't one of those yet, and different people that you talk to, so many states like Nevada, Louisiana, Oklahoma spend a lot of money with lobbyists in Texas to make.
And what's your deal with convening every other year?
Yeah,
what is that?
It's the hell out of me.
You're an elected official. You're not working for a year. Like what? I don't understand that.
Apparently, they're out shaking hands and kissing babies and not allowing us to get casinos or gambling. But on the inside of the world, what is the push like from the casinos to get it legal in Texas?
Well, obviously Texas is Texas and California is California. And, I just pray that when they get it done in the right way. Because New Jersey, where it's a free-for-all and anyone can get in, that's what led to $11 billion in sports bets in 2021. If you do things like Tennessee, where you say to the sports books that if they're licensed in the state, they must gross 10, like they have to have a 10% profit. So what they do is then your lines are screwed up because they have to. They're required to have a 10% profit because they've calculated how much money we'll make for the state if you have a 10% profit. So good luck getting like even minus 110. You're just not going to get. That's crazy to me.
Interesting.
Wow. I didn't know
so
that.
We might
in
get
that
it, but
state,
it might
in
suck.
Tennessee, if you're betting legally, that you don't have the best lines because of that, which is insane.
So I guess in Texas, we just have to still rely on our local bookie.
Yep, that's just how it is.
And those lines are usually pretty good, and they pay off, and they expect to be paid. So it's okay.
Not that we would know anything.
Right. No, I mean, entertainment purposes only, of course, right? Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about ticket sales and stuff for this ball game because you look at it and just news reports, it's like outrageous. Like a regular guy like myself couldn't go and get a couple of tickets. I mean, it cost me $10,000-$15,000.
So originally it started out, and I think people were buying and there was less volume, but the average was like $8,500 a ticket. The face value is about $3,500 for a lower end zone level, which is interesting because for Tom Brady's first Super Bowl in 2002, the face value was $400.
Wow.
So the NFL has clearly moved up and up and up with the rise of the secondary market. But the get-in price from January 31st to today has gone from $5,500 to under $4,000 today. So the question is going to be, will people in LA say, hey, whether it's Rams or not, Super Bowl's here, maybe we should go. And at what level is that? Because Ohio, only 11% of the tickets that StubHub sold is in Ohio. A little bit surprising to me. I thought that number would be higher.
Well, but again, I think ticket prices are a little scary. And I mean, you talk about just an ITB ticket in the building. I mean, crap seat, you're near the roof. They're so expensive.
And then what's your experience really like? Are you less of a fan if you're in the building or not? And I feel like more and more people are okay watching it at home and saying, you know what? If the Bengals won for the first time in my lifetime, I didn't need to be there.
You know, what I
and
find
maybe I could buy the TV. Now you could buy 60. You could buy a 60-incher for $600, 4K TV. You know, and
it's there, but there's seemingly so many available right now. Eventually, as we get closer, those ticket prices are going to come down.
It seems that way. It seems like that's where it's trending.
I've got a local ticket broker in San Antonio, Awesome Tickets. John, who owns it, was telling me a story. He's got a customer, goes to the Super Bowl every year, and without a ticket, he will be at the stadium. And either right close to kickoff, you might miss the anthem. When those ticket prices crash, he buys his ticket.
But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. I was there in 2002 when, because of it was the first game after 9/11, the whole stadium was encased in a fence, so it would take an hour to get in. Those $400 tickets were $100.
Wow!
Because. Oh, and Mardi Gras was there too, so you couldn't get a hotel room within 40 miles. So that was the perfect storm for if there was a Super Bowl to go to, it was Tom Brady's first Super Bowl.
Well, now that would have been cool to be there for Tom Brady.
If we only knew when.
If we only knew, right? If we only knew.
No one knew.
Now, you also deal in memorabilia, and you showed me a really nice piece of memorabilia, Tiger Woods American Express card. Have you tried to use that thing?
I have not tried to use that. But you know, I think that memorabilia, NFTs, crypto, it's all part of us all getting hopped up because we don't have enough normal human interaction, right? And we need to. People are. I'll tell you. When we have normal human interaction, people won't be bragging about the fake land they bought on the metaverse. You know, like the fake stuff. The fake stuff is not as good when you actually get back to real life. But no, it's like sports gambling is the tamest of these things. You know, someone says, "Oh yeah, I bought a monkey, no, a gorilla." So there's these gorillas that shed off 10 bananas a day. So you buy the gorilla. You don't have to sell the gorilla, but each day you own it, it generates 10 more bananas, and each banana is worth $42. And listen, I'll tell you the truth. I bought $93,000 in digital horses, and my wife thought I was cheating on her because she's like, "You're using the iPods for the first time. You're whispering around the house about some stable." She's like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you?" And I'm like, I bought digital horses, and they race it digitally. You can breed them digitally, and you can win real money, and you can sell them.
Really?
Hold on. I can't tell if you're BSing me or not, because the good news is
run. It's real.
You don't have to feed them.
So
clean the stall.
Well, you have to fake feed them. But I had them for 41 days. I got in early. I sold out. I made, I think, like $100,000 profit.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Off a fake horse?
No, I had a stable of 12 of them.
Okay.
That's what 93,000. So I made about $100,000 profit. The wife was relieved. I was relieved because, like, literally I was like, again, going around the house like a madman and talking about all these digital horses. And it felt like I was hallucinating in some way. and so there's a little thing where you can punch in what the value of everything is. Like, about a month ago, I punched in like what my stable would have been worth. It would have been worth $7.4 million if I held on to it, at least right now. So I told the wife that. I was like,
"Who's buying that?"
There's people buying. I mean, someone's going to be holding the bag, you know, and at least it wasn't me. But, you know, that's everything with crypto and NFTs. I mean, again, we're buying digital monkeys. We're buying digital for $200,000-$300,000.
That's incredible. So where do you go to buy digital horses?
You go on a computer, you get a MetaMask wallet. I mean, but here's the thing. Okay, the people who are in crypto are like, it's so simple. You know? All you have to do is get a MetaMask wallet. Then you copy and paste your wallet. Then you put money into Coinbase. It takes 6 days to get the money through. And you're like, oh, it's so simple. Yeah, that's really simple to me. It doesn't sound simple.
Seems safe.
Yeah, it seems safe.
And
right?
if I had $100,000 to buy a fake horse and my wife would shoot me with a real gun.
Yes, right, with a real gun, not a fake gun.
Yeah.
So is crypto the way to go? What do you think? What is your thought process?
I can't. Again, I was deep into crypto and Bitcoin and all this for 41 days. I looked at it all. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't have FOMO for what other people. Just be in your own world. Don't follow people. My career not following people. That's not what I've done throughout my life. I'm not going to follow people. I like to be unique. I like to be in my own lane. Sometimes that has a cost to it, and that, like, you're in your own lane, and it's much easier to be with a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. Right. With memorabilia, I buy some one-on-one stuff. I bought Hugh Hefner's Viagra pill bottle for $8,000.
It's only going up. And
yeah, there you go. There you go. So you just listen. I just don't think you can't follow. You can't follow people. Do your own research. Figure it out.
Darren Ravel from the Action Network. Always fun catching up with you on Radio Row. Love your hat. Says Super Burrow.
Burl.
Yeah.
And you've got, what's the other one say?
Stanley's Cup.
Stanley's Cup, and it's spelled like Cooper Cup.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
The Cooper Bowl might have been good.
Cooper Bowl would have been
Stanley's Cup, I kind of like the championship
absolutely.
trophy crossover.
I like that. As a hockey guy, I like that.
I'm a hockey guy too.
Darren,
unfortunately, I'm a Devils fan.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
You are?
I am.
I'm a season ticket holder. I have a suite every game. So
wow.
The pain is multiplied by.
Well, but now we're good friends. I will tell you the most random story when we get off. When I interned with the Devils in '92.
Okay.
Chris Terreri was hurt.
Chris Terreri, yeah.
And I had to go pick up the kid from Albany at the bus station. A guy named Martin Brodeur.
Oh my God.
Who hated living in the hotel. So he crashed with me and my Navy buddies for a couple of days. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
he only became the greatest goaltender ever.
Exactly.
I suddenly feel lost in this conversation. I'm lost
because you're so not hockey.
Not hockey.
And we'd go over to Kenny Danico's place over there. What city was that? Because we were I was in Earl, New Jersey.
Okay,
is where we were stationed. Which is over by Keensburg in Red Bank in that area.
Yeah, I know Red Bank.
And Scott Stevens back in the day and all those guys.
Those are the guys in their very beginning.
Absolutely. It was a fun run because, we lost to the Rangers in 94 in the Eastern Conference Finals before finally winning it in 95. Yeah, that was good times. Thanks.
Nice.
Darren.
You got it.
Yeah, people are like, the hell are they talking about?
A Devils fan in San Antonio.
Yeah, exactly. How random. Darren, always great catching up with you, man. Our producers yelling at me. We're way late for the break. Darren Ravel from the Action Network live here on Radio Row in Los Angeles. If you're dealing with any kind of injuries, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa over at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason for you to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490 or go online at tsaog.com.
We're following the Bengals and Rams all the way to L.A. Live all week leading up to the big game. Don't miss a minute all week long. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Chia Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
If you're having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your heater, your AC, there's one company to call, and that's Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. At Quarter Moon, they're a full-service company. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. 210-651-5899 or quartermoonplumbing.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 7-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
According to NHTSA, one person is injured in a car accident every 2 minutes in Texas, and a new crash is reported every 56 seconds. If you were injured in a car crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Are you stocked up for the big game? Are you stocked up for Super Sunday? If you're not, you need to get over to Texas Cheer Liquor. You need to get over there quick. They got 2 locations on Petranco, one at Highway 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor at Palo Alto in the Patron Plaza. And stay tuned. May have a couple more on the way, but beer, wine, liquor, cigars. And if you're really trying to do it big and you're really trying to impress your party goers, they got the 8-gallon and the 16-gallon kegs. Go to TexasCheerLiquor.com and check them out.
Before you fire up that grill, you know you need to get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market is locally owned and full service. They have everything you need: beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. They have great weekly specials, and of course, their Pick 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. They have 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener. Check out their website. That's TriCountyMeat.com.
The Bengals and the Rams are headed to L.A. for the big game. We've got you covered all week long, live from Los Angeles. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It's Rob Thompson. Join Rudy J and I tomorrow morning from 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Appreciate it, Rob Thompson. R&R tomorrow morning in Los Angeles on Radio Row. Rudy's looking at me funny with the liner that just says, "I'm Rob Thompson." You're yeah, that just ran. It's a little different than the one that say, "Hey, this is Rudy J." All right, it's there. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Those two are with us now. They'll be with you tomorrow morning. And Michael Irvin is going to be on. They'll figure out the times. They had an incredible day taping some interviews for you guys to hear tomorrow morning that are incredible. Set that alarm. Wake up at 7. You don't need coffee because we're going to give you Michael Irvin.
That's going to be great, and because all the guests were great today. And what a fun day this was. I mean, incredible day, ending off with the cherry on top with Darren Ravel there, and man, he was a fun guy. You know, I wasn't sure when he sat down, right? But, I mean, he turned out to be a really fun guy.
You know, it's gone both ways with him through the years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying. Aaron Taylor was incredible.
Aaron Taylor was fantastic.
He's Rudy's new best friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Ryan Leaf was fantastic.
Ryan Leaf is always fantastic. Pledge, how are we doing on time? I got to tell you, tomorrow, Brooks and Dunn, I'm not sure which one, but they're going to be on the show tomorrow. Jake Plummer, LeGarrette Blunt, Talking Blunts. Icky Woods is going to be on the show. We've got a lot planned for you tomorrow. Something named Diplo is going to be on. Tomorrow's going to be a train wreck, man, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning with Rob and Rudy and the Blitz live in L.A. starting at 4 o'clock. pledge. Okay. What was that? I thought we'd already had the 10-second countdown.
You don't want to miss it.
All right. Yeah. Tomorrow morning, man. It's time to go hit LA. We'll see you guys.
Halftime with Michael Jimenez.
Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open. Eddie.
I love the show, and you're definitely going to